Yo!
Yo Talk Show!
Dreamin'!
Don't give it up, Molly.
Dreamin'!
Don't give it up, Marco.
Dreamin'!
Don't give it up, Katie.
Dreamin'!
Al's name didn't fit. They talk about the show, this group of four friends been going for 1,000,000 years, there's no end. Watching every arc and saga, no sleep. It's the king of anime, 1,000 episodes deep.
Yo! Talk Show!
Talking about One Piece.
It's the name of the podcast.
We're not on Vine. Yo Talk Show. Talking about
One Piece.
What's up, wenches, privateers, and non-binary buccaneers? Welcome aboard the most chaotic One Piece podcast of the Grand Line, Internet. It's me. It's my episode. It's my time.
It's Molly's time.
Molly's
It's
time.
Molly's time down here.
Down here, it's Molly's time.
Yeah, I'm the captain of the CrUno Pirates, Molly D. Simpy, and it's my episode. It's me. It's my time. We get to talk about the things I've been wanting to talk about since we started this podcast.
Grandpa's.
You said things plural.
What?
I also love how you're like, hey, what's the intro? Send me the intro. And I sent you the intro, and you're like, nah, I don't need this.
What do you mean? I did the intro. I'm about to introduce you guys, but I had to make it very clear it's my episode.
That's true. All right. Understandable. No, I get it.
I have the crew. I mean, you guys can hear me. I got the crew with me. So first we got you guys can hear it. First we have the wild theorist Caden Jensen.
Oh, it's mad 4 a.m. energy at 3 o'clock in the afternoon right now. Oh.
3 p.m. energy.
At least it's not Wednesday.
This is Wednesday at 4 a.m. energy, and somehow it's Saturday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I can't wait for this episode, Molly. I've been excited to hear you talk about this for a while.
Awesome. And we also have the Laughborg, Al McClellan Jr.
It's me. This is Molly's husband parade, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Welcome. And last but not least, we have the internet's gentleman, Mark B. Donica. And of course, you know that B stands for Bonesman.
I'm sipping on a pineapple energy drink, y'all. Let's go.
Oh, no.
I love that you say, of course you know the B stands for Bonesman, when Molly, for some reason, for the last, until the last episode, you have tuned that out. So for the last, 2 months, this has happened. This has happened.
But Kaden, that's the script that I sent her.
Yeah, it's like Mark is holding up cue cards for me right now, and that's what it said. I read the prompter.
Mark is holding the 4 kids punching glove gun up to Molly's head, and you will say the B stands for bones.
I got my receipts.
Of course, you know the B stands for Bonesman.
Right?
Me too.
Can you put the boxing glove down now?
Oh
The Foxy Glove?
The foxing glove?
Oh no.
He's back. Well, Al did say husband parade, so.
No.
Yeah.
No.
True.
No,
I mean,
Also known as we bully Molly for her romantic choices.
Molly. Foxy grandpa. Foxy grandpa.
No, Silver.
No, go ahead.
No.
Molly.
No.
Molly, take us away, please.
Okay. Well, yeah. This is it, guys. This is the energy of this episode. It's just gonna be off the rails.
2 hours of bullying Molly.
Yeah. This is just every day for me.
We have our title.
Oh no. That's actually I kind of like that. No, I don't think it's changed, but just in case, Caden, what episode are you on right now?
So, I've been preparing for RT Extra Life. I became one of the producers to make sure all that stuff happens. So, my life has been
My life.
for the last couple weeks. So, I haven't caught up, but I guarantee you by the time we record next, I will be way ahead of where I was before. So, be
Ooh.
prepared. So, because the wild theories will continue. in the next episode. But for now, I think honestly it's better because I know Molly has a lot to say about this whole arc. And I think that we really should focus on it because there is a lot that's about to happen. There's a lot that's about to happen in a lot of different ways. One, for the sake of One Piece and the future of what's going to happen in the series. And two, because Molly has waited like a fucking year to talk about this.
We also were about to record and then decided, oh no, we need more time.
Yeah. So this has been like, I know we're going to bully Molly a little bit, but friendly bullying Molly for the next like 2 hours.
I'm in a safe space, you guys. It's okay.
But understand that we as the crew have been taking this particular episode seriously enough that when we knew we weren't going to have enough time, we delayed it so that we would be able to give this, one, the time it deserves, and two, give Molly the time she needs to talk about all the things that Molly wants to talk about, because this is Molly's episode. This is where it all comes together, fam.
Yeah, this is it. And you guys finally get to meet my husband. This is the husband episode. You guys
Double Foxy.
Yeah. No. No.
Literally everyone's worst nightmare.
It's just Foxy and then his twin brother Foxy, but spelled I-E, and they're standing on top of each other's shoulders in a big trench coat.
Foxy. Also Foxy. Foxy one more time.
No, it's like, okay, but we joke, but what if I was like super obsessed with Foxy and the amount that I talk about my other husbands in this Discord, imagine it was all Foxy. You guys would hate that.
There are dozens of us. Dozens.
I'm gonna say it right now. With Mark and Al talking about Buggy incessantly, you talking about Foxy would not be that much of a problem in comparison.
Compared to Caden talking about Robin and Jackie.
Listen.
My feelings.
The bullying episode, just in general.
Let's just get it all out there. We need the time for the
I'll throw
group
hands.
therapy.
Are we already at the Denny's parking lot? Is that what's happening?
We're definitely recording. Yeah, we're definitely recording
from the Santa Monica Boulevard Denny's.
There is definitely not a Denny's in Santa Monica.
Teresa, could you hold my Grand Slamwich? I gotta throw hands.
Oh my God.
We gotta throw slams.
We gotta
throw slams.
Slices of ham.
We are currently on the Santa Monica Pier inside the really rickety.
We're like in Encino. There's no way we're on Santa Monica Pier.
The 2-story boardwalk Denny's.
With the Santa Monica Boardwalk Denny's, which is actually just that, like the little not the merry-go-round. What's the other thing? The merry-go-round, but it stands up straight. Help me here, please.
Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel. It's just the Denny's is the Ferris wheel. You get on, and then as you make your loop, you make your order as you get on, and then as you make your first loop, you get the food, and then you have to finish your food by the second loop because you got to get the fuck out of the Ferris wheel Denny's.
It has a statue of Walt Denny in front holding hands with a pancake.
Walt Denny!
There's nothing I would hate more than what you just described, because I hate eating. I hate moving and eating at the same time. That's a recipe.
It's why it's the worst Denny's and why nobody goes there. And it's exactly why we fight there, because nobody's there. There's no
we fight
rules.
in the parking lot. We don't go into the restaurant and cause a stir.
We've just created a future Twitch stream. Follow twitch.tv/Yayo Talk Show, because Gang Beasts. There's the boardwalk level out front of the Ferris wheel.
How have we never played Gang Beasts? That's just us in the parking lot.
At Denny's parking lot. You heard it here first.
That's what's gonna happen. We'll do a Denny's parking lot stream where we just beat the shit out of each other on that one level over and over and over again in Gang Beasts.
I'm for it.
For those of you tuning in now, after skipping that Denny's rant, this is
Stop skipping the intro.
We see you doing it.
This is the Marineford episode. This is on top of what I want to talk about. So much stuff happened.
There's a lot of stuff that happens here.
A lot of plot.
This is what is also considered, this and the next arc is what everyone seems to consider the halfway point of One Piece. So congratulations on making it this far. Like, this is a feat all on itself. So we'll give Caden a little clap, like a round of applause for.
Golf claps.
I feel like this is the thematic halfway point. I don't know if it's like the literal halfway point because who knows how long One Piece is going to
Well,
keep going
yeah,
on.
it's still going.
This is where One Piece goes from it's about this grand journey to the grand line where Luffy's going to be king of the pirates, and it's just like, yeah, but there's like all this other stuff that's actually happening in the rest of the world, and we're going to get you just a small peek at that real quick before we go into a whole world of other nonsense, which is quite literally what happens. Is like the next thing is just like, what the hell?
I always feel like the first half of One Piece is just like we're here, we're having a great time, we're making friends along the way, like we're all having a good time, and then we get to this arc, and then now it's personal.
Welcome to
Now,
Trauma Town.
now it's like it's less of like we're just on a cruise having a good time, and it becomes personal. Like, as we're about to talk about, and we've previously talked about, they got Luffy's brother, right? Like they're about to execute Luffy's brother. That's as personal as it gets. That's his brother. Okay, you can't just take a man's brother. Okay, that's not cool.
That's how I was brought up in school.
You can't just take a
That's what they
man's
taught
brother.
you. You can't.
Great. Welcome to kindergarten. Stop stealing each other's brothers. Stop that.
Don't.
Children, stop
And
it.
now I can leave school.
I got my graduate degree in not stealing somebody else's sibling.
Yeah, it's very important. I mean, also it's November. It's not Yes-vember. So don't
No, yeah.
stop.
Just don't.
So there were specials here to like start the arc off, right?
There were.
Oh, come on! How? What the?
You were the one that watched the anime. I'm
Oh, yeah.
the manga is just the manga.
Madam Manga
Plus
is
the
leading
movie.
this conversation.
Yeah. Tell us, Caden.
Yeah, there was this whole thing where
Mhm.
like, and I feel like this becomes way more relevant later on, but like Luffy has this like whole flashback where it's like, it's this like, hey, we're gonna talk a little bit about Ace in case you forgot who the hell Ace was.
How do
which
you
is
forget?
How
How
literally
dare
how.
you?
So Luffy recalls like childhood moments with Ace, re-meeting him in Alabasta, getting the Viva card, the meeting with Blackbeard, the whole thing, and then it's like the reactions of him. It's kind of like a, last time on One Piece episode, but it's all about like Luffy and Ace's relationship and the things that led up to this moment. Exactly. It's a really nice little recap episode. It's one of the few that I kind of recommend, especially with all the stuff that happened with Impel Down and then Impel Up.
Mhm.
It's a good reminder of like the stakes here, the personal stakes, like you were saying, Molly, for Luffy. It's a great little reminder of like why all this is happening. And then, the next one is basically kind of like giving some backstory on the three admirals in Marineford,
Mhm.
where so you're setting things up on both sides of it. It's actually really like it's technically quote unquote filler, but it is great. Like like we just went through a lot of different stuff. We've removed ourselves from that situation in the sense of like there was a lot of other villains that got introduced, a lot of brand new characters. Let's refocus. It's 2
Mhm.
episodes. It was all about, Luffy and Ace and then all about the 3 different admirals and the 2 different sides that are about to clash. And it's really great. I actually really appreciated it. It was nice to have, even though at the time this was me binging like 200 episodes in a go. It was just
Yeah.
like I was constantly inundated with a lot of new information. And this was just reminder, we care about Ace. This is why Luffy cares about Ace. This is what's happening. This is why we're doing all this stuff. And we're about to go into this big confrontation. Here are the major key players, the what, the when, the where, the why of it all. And it's in 2 episodes, which essentially in One Piece land boils down to about 20 minutes.
I also
Yeah.
like how given how much you did watch and how long it's been since you did do that binge, you're like, no, let's talk about these 2 episodes, and they're still stuck in your brain. Like
It was nice. It was a nice thing to do because at some point, like, I feel like at this point, One Piece kind of realized how long it was. Like, it was when One Piece started to realize, like, oh wow,
Ooh.
we're long. We have a lot of stuff going on. Let's help our viewers, kind of like contextualize stuff. And sometimes it's nice to like refocus things. They do it in novels, they do it in movies and stuff like that, where they take the stakes and then they boil them down. Captain America Civil War did a great job of like having that like big end of the world kind of stakes and all these different things. But then you had those moments between, Steve and Tony where they had those conversations. And those were the ones where it's just like, oh, that's right. That's a lot of where, that confrontation comes from. And that's why a lot of this stuff happened in the first place. And having those moments, even if they're quote unquote recap episodes, helps the audience refocus, especially in something that's really long, like something like the MCU, which is like a gajillion movies, or One Piece, which is like 1,000 episodes. Having
Mhm.
those moments of, hey, these are those moments. These are those moments that you remember. You remember watching them, those moments you felt like meeting Ace for the first time. It's like, I loved Ace. It's like, loved meeting Ace for the first time. It was great. And then you remember he's in danger. And then the stakes become real for you as the viewer, as Luffy is remembering all those things on the way over there. And it's nice because it makes you feel in touch with the characters. It's great. It's
Yeah.
It's also an entry point. Like, if you're a fan of the show and you want someone to like watch this thing that you're about to see, it does a very good job of like catching somebody up to speed. And then if they're interested, they can go back and then dive through the giant pile of episodes just before.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice little thing, and I wanted to put that out there because I know, Molly, you're the manga reader,
Mhm.
but the anime actually did take the time to be just like, hey, you need to remember this stuff.
Yeah.
And considering everything that's about to happen, it was a nice little touch, and they pieced it together really well. And it's filler episodes, quote unquote, that are worth watching because it sets a lot of like the emotional stakes up
Yeah.
for everything
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we're
yeah.
about to see.
Yeah, yeah, and the manga doesn't go to that degree. Like, Oda's just assuming that you're reading weekly, right, as the chapters come out in Japan. Um, but they do, I think they always have those moments, right, when, like, somebody important comes out, they have some lower ranked Marine saying, like, "Admiral Oji like, Okiki," or, like,
Aokiji, by the way.
Aokiji. It's like
Aokiji.
they always kinda be like, "That's the admiral," and, we're about to get into it, but it's like we've only met 2 of the admirals so far, and there's a 3rd one that will be introduced in this arc. But, like, Sengoku and Garp, like, everybody's kind of, like, re-emphasized, and, I think somewhere around this arc, either before this or somewhere in the middle of it, there was just these like 1 or 2 random chapters that Oda did, that contextualize the one man who's ever escaped from Impel Down. And it's supposed to lead into a movie that I don't know, maybe we'll be talking about it next episode.
Oh,
But
Gasp.
it's like in terms of like it's almost like Oda spends more time setting up the movie than he does being like, "Hey, yeah, forget about Impel Down. I know it's been like 50 chapters of this like weird sidebar going on when Luffy should be saving Ace, but like I don't know, we're here now."
Now that
Um,
you've solved my Dante Inferno puzzle.
yeah, but
Here is your McDonald's toy as the prize.
before
one black coffee.
oh my god. Before we get like too far into Marineford, I just felt the need that after last episode, we kind of forgot to mention. We did mention that the Blackbeard Pirates did show up at Impel Down. We see another not a flashback. We kind of cut back in to see what they're up to, and they are infiltrating Impel Down to take prisoners to join their crew. So you thought these guys were already the bad of the bad. They're like, we need people that are more on brand with us. We need more people who are on brand with us. And so they go down into Impel Down. They get Chiridu.
Shiryu.
He was the former head jailer, right?
He was the assistant. He was the assistant jailer, like the second in command, and he was like, "Hey, all these pirates running around. You want me to like help?"
Do you want
And
me
they were
to
like,
kill them?
"Sure, I'll help." And
Here's your sword.
it was determined that was the worst idea ever.
Yes.
It's like,
Oh, hey, my sword. Slash. Oh, you all died.
I hate those guys. Do you want me to kill them for you? And they're like, haha,
Wink,
good
wink.
joke. But he was like, I already killed them. So he's like a bad guy. He has joined the Blackbeard Pirates. They go down to the most nasty, the baddest of the bad level 6, and they straight up tell the most dangerous prisoners, like, fight each other to the death, and whoever survives will join the crew. And then on that note, we go to Marineford.
Sometimes the bad guy is a bad guy.
Yeah, I already hate this guy, but it's like, might as well make him worse, I guess. Why not?
I mean, it's beneficial. Like, it's beneficial in the grand scheme of things. Like, it's like you hear, it's like, oh, there's already a kerfuffle happening over here. Might as well take advantage of this and just like, oh no, they quote unquote broke out of blah blah blah. And now like he's kind of just, like he's bolstered his ranks to the point of like beyond legendary status. Like almost everybody on his crew is like top tier and super dangerous. And then there's him. And it's like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. So those guys are nasty. Hate them. We don't need to talk about them for a little while. But that's just to set the mood. There's like other things going on. And then just to set the stage of where we get dropped into on Marineford before even Luffy and his like whole vagabond escapees ship show up. They're at Marineford. We have a stage that's like Ace is walking up very dramatically. Two guys got swords on him. He's chained down. Everybody, all the bitches be there. We got Sengoku. We got Garp. We have like 5 of the warlords. We got Kuma, Moria, Doflamingo, Mihawk, and Bo Hancock in the wings. Then we've got the 3 admirals that they always are putting in front of us, like Kizaru and Aokiji, and then I hate this guy, but how do you pronounce his name? Akanu?
Akainu.
Akainu. I hate that guy. This guy
Aokiji,
sucks.
Akainu, there's
And Kizaru.
and Kizaru.
Kizaru.
I see
Kizaru.
either.
Kizaru. What?
Molly's showing that Midwest pride.
That's right. We got Kizaru, Akainu, and Aokiji. We doing this right.
Aokiji. Don't like those fellas much.
Akainu and Akahiji and
Like when I put my head on my truck and I go, Aokiji.
Also,
wow.
Al.
He's got like a whole volcano in there.
Oh yeah,
wow.
sure. Oh, don't you know?
when
And
my ex came to my truck and I looked at the side of it, it's like, oh, KG all over the place.
Man.
I want to know what that means.
Come on, every country music thing where there's a breakup, the key to the side of the car. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right,
there you go. Yeah.
I get it.
It's
We
not a
got
reach,
there.
but now that I've explained it, it sounds terrible. Thanks.
Please laugh at my joke. Please laugh.
Please clap.
But yeah, so we got all these bitches lined up, right? We got the big bitches, we got the little bitches, we've got Kobe's there, his other friend that we don't like is there. Everybody, all the Marines are there, and they go live on Twitch. And Zengoku's like, "What's up, gamers? I gotta."
What's up, gamers?
He's just like straight up like, "You'll never believe this. I got a fucking gossip bomb to drop on y'all." And he like looks over at Garp like, "I'm telling him everything." And Garp's like, "Whatever." And he like sits down next to Ace. And Zengoku just drops this crazy bomb on the world, which is Ace, Portugas D. Ace, is the son of Goldie Roger.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And everybody is like, "Oh, what? Oh, what?"
I can't remember if that surprised me or not. I don't think it surprised me.
I think you might have called something similar earlier, and we were
'Cause
trying to like
it
fan the
fe-
flames somewhere else.
It felt like they weren't like it's like they just felt similar in energy, but they didn't really have that same. Once they introduced Garp as just like, oh yeah, Garp is the grandfather. I'm just like, Garp looks like Luffy. Ace doesn't look anything like Luffy. Uh-oh.
I think
Ace might be
I
related to
actually-
someone important. It's I think what you said.
Yeah, no, I have the screenshot. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me post it. In the Discord.
like I want to say that we were trying to like get you to think that Goldie Roger was also Luffy's dad, because I don't think you didn't know who Luffy's dad was yet, which we'll get to later. But it was like, yeah, he doesn't look like Garp, but that's because he looks like his dad.
That's actually a theory that's going around right now about like Yeah, never mind. We're not talking about that. But yeah,
There's a theory going on, and then Caden goes, "You go on."
there's a theory about who, if Dragon is Garp's son or not.
Oh,
Ooh.
Garp, you little slut.
Because of the way. Well, no, that
Can you not immediately call every grandpa in One Piece a slut, Molly?
When they
Come
stop
on.
being
It's a reflex.
slut, when they stop being a slut, Caden, I'll stop saying it.
but it's a threat. Like Garp's daughter married Dragon, and so like the way that Garp refers to Dragon is never like my son. He always refers to him as
Luffy's
your-
father.
exactly. So
Oh.
that thread and that language has people are finally thinking like, wait a minute, what if?
So you're
you know, 'cause
telling me,
Dragon doesn't look like, if we're going off of like your theory of like he doesn't look like them because Dragon is so like sallow and like sunken and doesn't look like anybody, then like
Only stands
Luffy-
facing the east.
Luffy has a little bit of like Dragon's eyes at the very least. Like there's a little bit of like some of that there.
I mean,
Yeah,
he is
but that means, but the thing is like you take a look at Garp and Luffy look a lot alike, which then my brain goes, that means the goofy like big smile teeth gene comes from Garp's side, which means that it doesn't comes from Dragon, which means that Luffy's mom has this big bright goofy happy smile, and I'm like, I need to know who she is, and I know it's not important, and I know that there's been talks about Oda saying it's not important, but
could be important.
I want happy Luffy mom with the big smile because whoever that is gonna make my heart happy to see her.
Yeah, I think I've never considered that Dragon is not Garp's son by blood, because I'm pretty sure there's a line of dialogue somewhere where Garp was saying that like when he was raising Dragon, like even he didn't like he wouldn't become a Marine either, and then he was like trying to.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean anything because
Garp
like,
raised 3 kids, you know, like him raising children that aren't necessarily his is a thing.
Thematically appropriate where it's just like, yes, it's like, I'm going to be taking care of you, and this is my biological daughter, and then Dragon's just like, well, I'm gonna be 18 and she's gonna be 18 and we're having fun, so let's
Oh my god, I cannot see Dragon having fun. Can anybody here see Dragon having fun?
Yes.
No.
With a little bit of yeah, well, his definition of fun might be murder, but yes.
What?
I mean, he'll be holding cotton candy and having that neutral scowl.
Yeah, the Dragon's not the like, oh, I'm going to Disneyland, yay, look at all the happy stuff. He goes to Halloween Horror Nights, it's just like, yes, these are my people, the murder is happening, yes.
No,
Revolution begins.
Dragon's idea of a fun time is watching MSNBC, all right?
Big Keith Olbermann fan.
Can't change my mind.
I'm sorry for derailing.
No,
How
you didn't
dare
derail.
you.
That kind of like, no, that's context.
Yeah.
That's important.
It's interesting to think about.
To point to the record that Mark put in our chat, Caden said he's got to be related to someone important, and then she posted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Knuckles thinking emojis.
Yes.
Let the record show. Not 5, but 6.
Yeah, I literally said, if I'm right, and Ace isn't blood related to Luffy, he's got to be related to somebody important. Really hilarious though, in almost as important because of the way we introed this entire thing. The whole thing is like, it's Molly's time. It's Molly's time down here. Literally, Molly in this screenshot. Goonies never say die.
Yeah, I forget the context, but usually whenever Caden goes on like a wild theorist tear, we don't necessarily just say like, hey, stop doing that. We just have a second conversation like we're not paying attention.
Yeah, it's usually like, don't acknowledge, because no matter what we do or say to Caden's like, I'm right. I'm 100% right. You guys just confirmed it. And we're like, you're wrong, but we can't tell you you're wrong, or like, you're right, and we can't tell you you're right.
How many times have I been wrong and you couldn't tell me I've been wrong?
I mean, again, You totally
A
disregarded Blackbeard. Like,
it's because I was focused on the island in the sky. Okay. Also,
I'm just-
dollar store Luffy with Bellamy and the springy boy legs. Little
just saying. I'm
punk
just saying,
bitch.
for the record, Your Honor, for the record, Caden has been wrong. I'm just saying she has been right many times, but also
On gods, if Bellamy comes back and it turns out just like I've been working on my spring boy powers.
Where did Bellamy come from?
No, because we were talking about it because Bellamy was distracting me during that whole thing because it was at that same time I was so distracted by Bellamy being that dollar store Luffy. If he comes back
so
later,
good.
on gods, if he comes back later, it's like, I'm like mega spring boy now, and Luffy like loses to him or like he's super powerful. 1, I'm gonna be pissed. 2, I will be not surprised at all. And 3, why Bellamy? I hate him so much. What
Yeah.
a worthless character. I'm gonna break your spring legs.
Yeah,
I'm going
so
to break them.
we're gonna stop
Sorry.
talking about Bellamy
Marineford,
because
please.
haven't thought about him since Skypiea. Don't care about him. It's my episode. We're not
No,
talking
please.
about
let's
this
talk about
guy.
let's talk about some hot men, Molly. Let's go.
All right.
Assuming control.
Number 1 hot man, Goldie Roger,
Yeah, you
sexiest bitch in history.
I will
All
agree to
right?
that. I will agree
So-
to that. He's a
Sorry.
tasty morsel right there.
He's got a great mustache game going on, great smile. He's a great guy. Yeah, we find out that Ace is the son of Goldie Roger, and then Sengoku just goes and just spills the entire pot of tea, where it's like, not only is he the son of Goldie Roger, we know exactly who boned Roger and had Ace, and it's just straight up like Portugas de Rouge, which is like, haha, that's Rouge, like very piratey, Roger and Rouge.
I love her.
And they just straight up were like, we know exactly how it happened. We know exactly where and when. We know what's going on. Garp didn't tell us, but we figured it out anyway. And basically, yeah, like Roger just had this fling with this very beautiful woman named Rouge. Like, I guess like towards the end of his
She's also like a total
journey.
badass, and where
yeah.
Ace gets his freckles from.
Yeah, I love her so much. We know like so very little about her, but
She carried Ace past term
yeah.
to like douse suspicions that he was the son of Goldie
So-
Roger.
Which
So
one,
she-
very
Killed her.
dangerous, and
Yes.
2, what a move.
So she was pregnant.
Willpower.
She was pregnant with Ace when Rogers gave himself up to the Marines. And it's basically like he died and they're like, cool, check his chat history. Who has he ever talked to ever? We're killing them all. And so they like immediately went off on this
checking his text. Hey Rouge, wanna smash?
yeah, they're like, what do these emojis mean? It must mean something like
Rouge, you up?
but, like, straight up.
Eggplant.
so like we've already seen this a
Peach.
little bit in Peach. But we saw this a little bit in the Water 7 arc, where Frankie's like master / papa figure like was accused of like building the ship for Goldie Roger and was like, dude, you're gonna die. And he's like, cool. Can I make a train first? And then like, I don't know, how fly is this train? You know what I,
don't
mean?
know.
And
Can you?
yeah,
I don't know,
exactly.
Tax deductible.
So, like we've already like kind of known that anybody associated with Roger had a hard time after his death, and so they like went looking for Rouge. They were like, I don't know, he was tapping somebody's ass. We gotta find this lady, and like she might be pregnant because damn, And they were like looking around the island she was on, and she was like, well, I guess I'll just hold it in for like more time than like a normal pregnancy should be. And so she basically fooled the Marines and then had Ace, but had like obviously like a medical issue for holding a baby inside of her for way too long. And yeah, so like 1 year and 3 months after the death of Goldie Roger, he was born.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like that's such like holy. Oh my
So,
gosh.
It's a big
That-
baby.
That
Thoughts?
hurt. Like that whole thing, like learning about her and everything there was like strongest person in the entire canon of One Piece, right there.
Yeah.
That's the
Mhm.
strongest person in the
Dude.
entire canon of One Piece. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Yeah. Love
Rouge
Rouge.
is the strongest
Shout out.
person in the entire thing.
Shout out to Rouge. Mwah. Kiss into the sky. Mwah. And we see this little flashback where when Rogers was captured by the Marines, Garp just went down because they were like, like haha, those two. They had some camaraderie on, the old like cop versus robber situation. Like even though they were
Lupin the Third type of
frenemies.
thing.
Yeah, they're frenemies. So he like came down to like talk to Roger while he was captured and hung out. And Roger just straight up told Garp, like, hey man, I know you're a good guy. I'm having a kid and I'm about to die. So take care of him for me. And he was like, I'm a Marine, dude. Like, you don't just tell me like, like you don't just give me those types of facts. And he's like, no, you're a good guy. Like, take care of my kid for me.
And then dies.
Yeah, but then, so this incredible, the strongest woman in One Piece, like finally gives birth to Ace, and who is there to witness the birth of if he, I'd say I don't remember exactly, but like he may have also hid her.
I think he helped. Yeah, I think that was
Yeah,
like one of the things that was like
the
inferred is that Garp was
implication.
just like,
He's
since
like,
Garp knew, it's just like, well, let's just like the magic of misdirection. Look over there, Marines. He was traveling this way. And then
yeah,
he like yeets Rouge in the other direction.
as
It's
if
like,
as
go
if
that way.
as if I didn't already love Garp enough. He's such a fucking softie. But also it's like he has a good moral compass, right? Like he understands that Rouge isn't innocent.
One of
But
the
like
few cops in the series that do.
yeah, like Rouge and this baby that's not even born yet, are innocents. But like because of her association, because she had to get that dick, right? She's like subject to die.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
She got no. She had to get the D.
Yeah,
Yep.
There
that's
you
what
go.
that's what the D. That's what the
The
middle
will
name.
be.
Listen, Rouge was just like, I have the will of D, you have the will of D. It kind of there's gotta be like,
Now I want-
are we doubling down on the D? And then wink wink nudge nudge to Dragon. Dragon's just like,
Oh God, I've been pregnant for 2 years.
yeah, I guess.
I
Yeah,
would love.
that's
Okay.
probably how it really happened. Is like she's just like, hey, I can fix him, and Dragon's just like, no, you can't. And she's like, it's like Rogers is like, I'm gonna fix him. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be great. And Rogers like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna die. It's like, no, it's fine. We can fix this. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. And Roger's like, well, I mean, I really think that you're great and all, and I really don't want to put too much stress on you, because he's a nice guy. Literally, you see Roger just like, I don't want to burden people with all of this stuff. I really just want to like you see him slim down his crew, piece everybody out, like shoot everybody off into different ways, and make sure that everybody's protected. He cares too much. And then like she's just like, okay, but like smash? And he's just like, in the middle of the, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we rename
If
this
you
episode to the
insist.
Will of D, please?
The will of D.
The Will of Dick. Yeah,
It's the upward inflection on the D that sells
Up
it.
until this moment, I didn't get the joke, but now I do.
Oh
Thank
my
you,
god.
Molly, for spelling it out so clearly.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
That
No
was
secrets
amazing.
between friends.
Thank you. I'll never tell.
I'll never tell.
Molly, please take it away.
No, but it's just like to again add context to how terrible this situation is, and like Garp being like, yo, that's not right. Any mothers who had kids on and around or were pregnant at the time that they were investigating to figure out like who got that Willa D, like it was implied that like they gave orders to kill anybody who was suspicious. So,
King
cut
Ramses
to
bullshit.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cut to, the Pharaoh's times where it's just like yeet all the children and mothers because just in case. And it's like they still missed it. But it's like, I love Garp so much.
Are you inferring that Ace is Moses?
Oh no. I don't know anything about religion, so who can say? But yeah, so I already love Garp. That goes down. So then there's also this time of like Sengoku being like, "You'll never fucking believe this," and everybody's like, "Oh no, no," across the world because everybody's like reacting live on Twitter to like the news they're hearing on this Twitch stream. Um,
Yeah, that's the other important thing is this whole thing is being Twitch streamed to the entire world. Just so we're clear.
yeah,
It gives this perspective of what the Marines put into the world and what sort of propaganda exists in this world and how people go, good, kill that criminal. And like, I think it's good to check in with the like Greek chorus every now and again. And this is a great time to do that.
yeah.
But it's also like they're complete control of the flow of information. Like at this point, it's like that
Yeah.
everything that the world knows about Roger and the golden age of pirates is colored by how the Marines want people to hear it.
And again, it's why the pirates do kind of like it's why there's like a whole subset of pirates that, I mean, even Dragon being one of them, being one of the revolutionaries, it's like it's challenging the world order because it's a lot of the people who are in control of the world with the magic of misdirection. So it's like they're manipulating the people into just kind of existing and being this way. We see it with how they treat the fishmen and everything like that, and how everything has led up to that. Even like the story of Skypiea itself falling into this like, oh, it was legend and everything like that. And it's like, well, it was just one dude who's just like refusing to give them up and like give up these people, against the wishes, and they just killed him. And it's like, okay, well, it's a story. What a jerk. He was a liar. That's what happens when you lie. And it's like, y'all manipulated this whole thing. So there's a lot of like this whole subsection of pirates that are just like, well, we do like treasure and we do like the fights and all that stuff. What we're really here to do is to kick the government's ass and to kind of like equalize things a little bit. And then you have people like Buggy.
And then Buggy, who's the outlier.
Thank God.
No, but it's this great
Thank Bug.
line of dialogue that keeps appearing throughout this whole manga and anime is that it's the law versus what you think is morally correct or what is morally right. Like you personally, like how you react to it just being like, it's like, why is this illegal? And it's like, well, like there's huge prejudice against like a whole species of, people and like this and
it's
that.
just okay for that to happen because
it's comply with the law or this over-encompassing thing called the dragons, like which is like a monarchy basically that allegedly controls like this entire globe. Or they just or you die.
The 1%.
Yeah. But it's like, I love that they constantly just like put this in front of you and you have to digest it because they just shown you like, I don't like that and I don't think that's right. And it's like, yes, you're getting it now. Like,
You're understanding. That's why we're pirates.
Welcome to the chat room. I'll try to run through this as quickly as possible, but I do love I love this so much, specifically to me. But Zengoku dropped some more tea about Ace in general. Like this guy's just reading his wiki page, honestly. But like after the whole like the big shocker of Roger and Rouge, he also mentions that when like Ace left to become a pirate, he was the captain of his own pirates called the Spade Pirates. And like very, very quickly took over, like he gained power so quickly and like traction. And I love this whole era. They show quick clips in the anime and manga just to add context, like flavoring to like how Ace became a white beard pirate. But there are actually, for those of you at home, if you are interested to read more, there are light novels about Ace's like first 2 years before Luffy sets out, about like what he was up to and like his character motives and like how the whole situation came to be. And I find it so interesting. I love like reading about the Spade Pirates, and Oda had a hand in it. He didn't write it, but he gave the information to somebody to write it. And I love it, and I reference it so much. I reference it a lot whenever we
Oh?
talk about.
When did this
Uh,
start?
I talk about it all the time. Like Deuce, who's his
Yep.
first mate. Kaden knows, and
Deuce.
like
I paid
how
attention. Yeah, it's like, oh look, it's the Spade Pirates, which basically he's the ace of the Spade Pirates, and then Deuce is his second in command. And I've been paying attention to
God.
Molly's whole. There's this whole like card motif.
Mhm.
Oh no, I'm 100% being sarcastic because she brings it up all the time.
Yeah, well, the thing is like the audience might not know, but like
Then
there's
go
a lot
back
of
and
like,
listen to literally all of our shows and
Nah,
watch
I
all of
don't-
our
I don't
Twitch
know.
streams.
I don't know, but also please do that because we need the views.
Yeah, but I just love.
You're right.
I'll give you guys this little flavor context to get you at home interested in reading the light novels. But they say how Ace got his devil fruit, which is basically he set off from home. All right, he's like set off on his like way to be a pirate, and much like Luffy, who like immediately got shipwrecked, like he ended up on Alvida's ship in a barrel because they're like, oh, sweet, like free food or whatever. And Luffy's like, wow, I thought I was going to die. Thank you. Ace also was shipwrecked on an island where somebody else was also shipwrecked at the same time. And there was no food, no water. And the light novel in the beginning is written in the POV of this guy who will become his first mate. And he fucking hates Ace. He's like, fuck this guy. This guy is like way too positive. We're stuck here. I'm angry. I left home because I was angry in my emo phase and this and that. And like Ace finds this fruit that comes ashore and is like, sweet food. Like, there's something else to eat here. Crazy. And he ends up splitting it with Deuce. But because Ace took the first bite, he got the devil fruit power. So they both ate it, like they had sustenance, and it was shitty. But Ace was the only one who got the power. So they add some more context and rules to the devil fruit.
Which is kind of cool, and then makes me think. No theories as that just yet, but like I'm getting there. There's something in the back of my mind that's been thinking about that for a while. But because Oda only gave like notes and didn't
Mhm.
like directly write it, I don't know how much of that is. So anyway, not important.
Yeah, but yeah,
Marineford.
it's basically giving some flavor context. He was on the Spirit Pirates. He was doing way like, I mean, they're all like, this guy's using cheat codes. He's doing way too well. He even like goes out of his way to see Shanks because like he's like, dude, you helped my brother out. Like, thanks, man. And they're like, what's he? He's meeting up with Shanks, like, and he's alive. Like, oh, that's crazy. And so yeah, it's like, who is this? Who is he? Like, who is this
Who's
hot
this
young
mysterious
upstart?
hot boy?
This hottie boy, like
Hot
he's
boy.
making a
He's
splash.
on fire.
Yeah, and so basically, Ace's motivation is that he hates Roger, loves his mom, and is like, I just want like Roger's legacy to fucking die. So what better way to do that than killing Whitebeard and also taking his place and like become a bigger name than Roger, basically. Like be bigger than this thing that's overshadowed him his entire life. And Whitebeard's like, that's cute. Totally like kicks his ass. And before this, like he's straight up like, I'm gonna kick Whitebeard's ass. And Jinbei shows up and is like, yo, I heard you talking shit about my bestie. And he's like, yeah. And then they fight for like 5 days straight. And then Whitebeard shows
As
up.
one does.
As one does. And then Whitebeard shows up. And yeah, he's just like, sup. And he's like, fuck. And like he like he puts up a firewall so his crew can get away because he's like, well, I fucked this up. I didn't plan this right, but YOLO.
Not like hacking, but literal like firewall.
Yeah, and they'll talk about it later, but basically it's like it's this great like found family story about Ace like becoming like a Whitebeard pirate, and that he like actually enjoys like being part of the crew. But then yeah, it's like that's like why Ace, when he left to be a captain, and like they talked about him in Alabasta, and then he was like, fuck that, dude, Luffy, like Whitebeard is gonna be the next Pirate King. This guy's great. And he's like, fuck you, I'm gonna be the next Pirate King. And then Sengoku's like, Whitebeard was trying to make Ace the next Pirate King. And Ace is like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you're fucking crazy, dude. Like,
Everybody's trying to make everybody else the Pirate King, and it's
Yeah.
just like, what the hell is happening?
yeah, it's literally like, it's like X to doubt, right? It's just like in this moment, it's like also Sengoku trying to paint Ace as like the bigger villain, right? Not only does he have a quote unquote demon's blood, but it's also like, can you guys even imagine? Did you any of you even remember when the last guy was Pirate King?
They're further demonizing piracy to try to
Yeah.
gain more power, but they're also trying to legitimize killing this man, quote unquote, legitimize it by like, look at how bad this guy is, and then that all gets like, fucking Whitebeard shows up and throws down a reverse card and is like, no, you, and
Mm-hmm.
just this is
You throw that over.
wildness is this entire arc, and we're
Yeah.
barely scratching the surface.
Yeah, and it's just like
True.
it's just like Sengoku basically is just like, on top of everything I just stated, you're getting too powerful too quickly. If we continue to let you be free, like, you're just going to be one of these unstoppable forces, and it's worth killing you even if we have to go to war with Whitebeard.
You're gonna be king.
Yeah. And so like, while like he like mic drops, basically somebody is like, did anybody leave the door unlocked because the gates are opening? And they're like, huh? Like, that's weird. And it's like we cut back very quickly to Luffy's gang, and Buggy just has his arms open for some reason, and the doors are opening, and everybody's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "Jesus! Like, this guy's so powerful."
No, Moses. That's where Moses comes back.
Oh, okay. And it's like, I can't even remember the line of dialogue, but Buggy's like thinking about other things, but his arms just happen to be up, and everybody's like, "Senpai, he's so cool!" Like, oh man. And then yeah, so they it seems like our crew's gonna get in, and then it's like, who's that? Who's that on the horizon? Like, can it be? Is it he? And everyone's like, you just kind of assume it's Luffy. I don't know if you assumed this, Caden, but in the manga, they kind of make it seem like it's going to be Luffy and his gang because they keep cutting back to what they're doing. And then it's like, just kidding. Guess what? Blah, 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 blah. It's the fucking Whitebirds.
Yeah, they kind of like were subtly hinting. It's like, oh, they're coming, and I'm just like, that's too many ships. Immediately, it's like, no, it's not Luffy. It's like,
All of Luffy's friends, our friends from Skypiea and our friends from the East Blue.
and it's like the thing is like the whole point of this was that Luffy's kind of on his own in this. So seeing like all of those things, I'm just like, that's not Luffy. That's absolutely not Luffy's crew. No way, because. Like, Luffy is kind of traveling with the, Straw Hats Light at this moment, where it's just like the Diet Coke of Straw Hat Pirates.
Straw Hat Zero.
The off-brand. No, it's not even that. It's
Straw
the
Hat
off-brand. It's the off-brand soda.
RC Cola.
Mr. Pibb.
Ripe.
Sprite. But yeah, it's like, I mean, yeah, you take a look at it, like Luffy's current like crew is basically a bunch of like hodgepodge folks who, like, realistically, the only person who, actually lives up to the reputation that they hold is, again, the mirror of the person who actually holds the reputation that they appear to have, which is, the mirror for Robin in this, Diet Coke of Straw Hats, which is Boa Hancock. Boa Hancock's on Luffy's side, but everybody else is just like, Zoro, but he kind of sucks. And Usopp, if he's really freaking annoying and nobody really wants to be around him. And Chopper, but like not cute. It's basically like, that's like the whole like point of Nami, but kind of just too mean. That's basically who Luffy's traveling around with right now.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, it's definitely not his friends from Skypiea and all these places. Like, this is definitely not him.
Can I introduce a term that I don't know if it's been introduced or not?
Sure.
In the case of this crew, it's more like lost and found family.
I like that. That's cute. You know what? I'm gonna save that for my fanfic later.
There you go. Doing what I can.
But in this moment, they introduced two things
New
that like
AO3 tag unlocked.
there's
God.
they introduced these two really cool things immediately. So we just were on Djibouti and they were explaining how to get to Fishman Island, you have to coat your ship in this like bubble stuff, and it takes multiple days. Like it's a process, right? Like it, and if you fuck up, you feel like you're dead. Like unless you're Fishman. And then my favorite ship in all of One Piece, my very favorite ship, it fits so well with like in terms of like the thematic like stuff and like with Whitebeard. Whitebeard's ship is called the Moby Dick. He has a fleet, but like the main flagship is called the Moby Dick, which looks like a giant whale.
Big whale.
It's a
Big
Looks
goofy
like
grin.
it's a
whale.
giant eggplant emoji.
I love it so much. So like just straight up like everyone's looking at the doors like close the doors, like hold the doors, like this is oh shit, dude, like this is not bad. And then like blah 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 blah, like in the middle of Marineford pop out these 4 fucking ships from the deep. Like what up motherfuckers? Like so cool. Like it's like not only does he like arrive in fucking style, but like he's like, no, I don't even need the door. Like hold, it's like I got this. Like it's so it's like so cool. So like immediately they're infiltrating. They're like this most in like right next to Impel Down, the second most like impenetrable like marine base. And they just straight up were like, hey, you guys forgot about water. You guys forgot about the giant like pool that's connected to the outsourced water that I can just go under the fucking gate, idiot. And it's like, this is what I wanted to talk about like 2-ish episodes ago, Caden, when you're like, why didn't they just go to Impel Down? Why didn't they just do this? Why didn't they do that? I'm like, because it's so much easier to just get Ace when he's out in the open and do this shit, all right?
Is
This
it,
is
Molly?
It is, though.
Is it easier?
Al, do you want to go inside to Denny's and order something?
Because Molly, I got a question for you. Describe the rest of the arc and what happens, and tell me it's easier.
But
Well,
guess
good
what?
news, everybody.
On
Bad
paper,
news, nobody.
on paper, you're asking why didn't Whitebeard go to the impenetrable prison and take Ace from like the fucking basement level 3?
Oh, you know he would have been
Or-
able to do it. His entire like listen, he ate a devil fruit. What's his power?
Earthquakes.
Right. How fast is that entire island just dust? And he
Yeah,
just
and then
shakes
he
it apart.
kills like a
No,
million people,
no.
Caden.
Oh, look, what? Oh, look, Crocodile? What a loss. What a loss we lose Crocodile.
Ace
No,
is in there. Jinbei's
but
in there.
But he knows Ace. Ace would be like, okay, this earthquakey stuff, that means that's absolutely Whitebeard. I know I'm getting out of here. Then I just need to be prepared. Boom, bam, boom, we're done. It would have been easy. It would have been fine. I think it would have been a better plan. I know it's this whole grand showmanship thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's more about, don't think it has anything about of ease of rescuing Ace, because I think Whitebeard's pirates, because of their firepower and their talents and all the people there, they would have been able to break into Impel Down and out way easy. It would have been super simple for them. They just never really had a purpose to it. But the point of it was, why did they go here instead of just going there? And the point is, they wanted to do exactly what Gold Roger did, and that's humiliate the entire Marines in front of the world.
Listen,
And
Caden.
that was the point.
Listen, Caden. Listen. You're right, but let me just recontextualize what you just said. The government put out there a dick measuring contest, and like Whitebeard was like, "Say no more," and like had to have like this whole grand.
I totally get it. I totally understand. But if the priority was, let's get out Ace and save him, you could still, participate in the dick measuring contest by breaking into the impenetrable fortress, breaking out, and then just bursting into nothingness and shattering it so it doesn't exist. That's a BDE move. Like,
Let's
that could have also been big, but this is, like, on the world stage being broadcast on
Yeah.
Twitch. Like, this is
But
the whole thing, like, all other Twitch streams are shut down for the day. This is the, the world championships of whatever the hell game everybody's playing right now. I don't know. Animal Crossing?
Stardew Valley. It's all right.
Not to
let's
interject, but big Moby Dick energy.
Big Moby Dick energy, thank you. That might be that's kind of a better episode title, though.
yeah, man, we're killing it. No, but let's get into it because I do feel like this plan would have worked, Kaden. Like I hear what you're saying, but I think it would have worked if like certain elements hadn't happened at certain, it's like they're not fighting a battle, right? They're fighting a war. So it's all about,
Right, no, you're
small
completely
wins.
100%.
But yeah, so the boys I've been wanting to talk about for so long, which you
The
guys kind of saw.
boys.
The boys, you guys saw them a little bit on one episode when Shanks met up with Whitebeard to be like, "Yo, don't," of like more of like background flavor text than actually meeting him. But the crew rolls up, and we've got the 14 commanders that are on board. This is his whole fleet. Like this guy like showed up with the entire posse. Like no posse left behind. Everybody's like showing up to get their bro. Like homies help homies. And then at the same time, like Luffy's group is just showing up. Like they're just sailing on into Marineford. And then yeah, I think at that time, like Ivankov like is wondering if Dragon's gonna show up because like the whole reason he's helping Luffy is because he knows that like
Where's
Luffy's dad
Dragon?
is
I need to
Dragon.
speak with Dragon. I can't wait to see my friend Dragon again.
Yeah.
Where is Dragon? So Dragon's
Yeah.
gonna be coming and helping, and then there's no Dragon.
And then yeah, it's one of those things where he was helping Luffy with the assumption. I mean, he helped Luffy because he helped Luffy, but like he was also helping Luffy to get Ace because he was under the assumption that both of Dragon's sons were in trouble. And then Luffy reveals that they're not actually related by blood, and also that Ace is Goldie Roger's son. And then immediately it was like totally pulled a Garp and was like, "Oh, I wasn't supposed to tell you that though, so keep it secret." He gets mad when we talk. Like, don't bring it up to him because he gets mad about it.
Don't tell him that I told you that.
Yeah.
Oopsies. Oops.
And then in like the most badass, like we cut back the most badass reveal of a devil fruit yet is like everyone's waiting to see who'll make the first move, and Whitebeard just fucking punches the air and the air cracks. And it's like
Pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, like the sound effects, the visual design, like everything about Edward Newgate. And I because I say sound design, I'm gonna be I'm talking about the anime.
AKA Whitebeard,
But-
just in case anybody.
AKA Whitebeard. Is you understand this guy's jive immediately. You see his legions of followers, you hear how Ace thinks about him, and when he shows up and just shows how much of a presence he is, they say the man who could destroy the world. And you see that immediately. The strongest man in the world, everything. And like he leaves such a strong impression, even though he's technically in like 40 episodes.
yeah.
He's also like dying at this moment. He is
He's old.
actively dying.
He's been on life support the entire time. And in a world that has no like quote modern medicine, the fact that he has like IVs,
Little oxygen tubes.
yeah, is funny. But also actively dying, and we get to see him go wild because of the love of his quote unquote son.
Mm-hmm.
What a guy! What a mensch!
I mean, God, just marry me. Like I love him so
That's-
much.
That's also like part of his whole thing is like they knew that Whitebeard would come because every single person who is a part of Whitebeard's crew is a child to him. It's like
Mhm.
these are my children.
Babies.
These aren't my crewmates. These aren't my subordinates. These are my children. I take care of them. And that's his whole deal.
Caden, like, how fucking relatable is that when you're like in a fandom and you're like, oh, this is my son now. This is my daughter. Like, this is my child. Like, no, come here. Come here. I will protect you.
Me with Oscar Pine.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's like, imagine that, but then there's like, every time you go out to sea, there's a new Oscar Pine for you to be like, come here, child, come here.
Listen, me in nudging in Kate. It's like, listen, I will kill for this child. It's like, they're just like,
I've only known Oscar Pine for 5 minutes, but I would kill everyone in this room and myself if anything happened to him.
and that's like me, the person. I'm just like, and I'm going to put that energy into the character I'm playing because now that I'm here in this universe, if anything happens to this little boy, I will kill everyone in this room. And I just want everybody to know that. All right? Do not mess with the little boy. I'll end you.
Yeah.
My son.
Which
you totally get it.
Just real fun flavor context. We can cut this if we need to. I was reminded of an old tweet from like a year or two ago where the voice actor who does the voice of Oscar Pine was like, hey, Carrie, it's kind of crazy how like people are like don't want Oscar to get hurt. And then Carrie was like, yeah, I constantly get DMs from Molly threatening my life if Oscar gets hurt. And I'm like, you guys should fear me more.
No, that is staying in for context.
Okay, great. Just more flavor context.
Oh, don't worry. There's plenty of swears I need to cut anyway. So
Aaron's a great guy, by the way. Like super nice. Like super the voice for Oscar. It's like what a sweet person. What a lovely individual in general. Just a good person. And then hearing him cry makes me sad.
Yeah, exactly. Protect. But it's like we're immediately like reminded that like this guy is one of 4 emperors. Like this guy, like he didn't get his title like, sitting down. I mean, no, he didn't. But like he's this guy's
Text notes. No, he did.
The pause. Wait, let me make sure.
Do you think he did?
No, he has been doing a lot of sitting lately because of the thing, but no, he didn't get to where he was by sitting
Molly,
down.
that made me choke on my damn water. Jesus.
Wait a minute, let me read my notes.
No, he did not.
We finally get some more context as to what was going on with Ace too, because we see him like when he first gets onto like the Whitebeard ship, like he's trying to kill Whitebeard. In the light novels, they have this kind of like this accord where like you can only try once a day. And he has like 100 days basically to see if he can kill Whitebeard or not. And like he kind of like through the time that he's doing all that, we see in the anime that like he's making friends and like he kind of gets like put into the folds, and you realize all of these guys are like, for somebody who has like the epitome of daddy issues and sees an actual father figure to a bunch of people like who this is not their real dad, immediately is like, I already hated you, now I really hate you. You're not my dad. Like, you're not my daddy. And like through kind of like his internal struggle to be like, I don't want a father, he's like, why do you guys call him dad? And I think it's my husband Marco says he calls us his sons, and that makes us happy. And like Ace immediately is like, like yeah.
Daddy Ace shoes.
Yeah. And
wow.
So
yeah.
Wow.
I really appreciate that you leaned into the mic for that one, Al. You didn't. You made sure everybody. You made sure everybody could hear that one.
Tap tap tap. Daddy Ace shoes. The enunciation's important.
Yeah, but it's like we see that Ace was friends with the 4th division leader Thatch, who is the person who got the devil fruit that Blackbeard killed him to get the devil fruit that he'd been using the protection of basically Whitebeard to like go unnoticed for so long, and then like made his move. But the deal is that if you find it, you keep it, right? So Thatch found the devil fruit, and Blackbeard was like, well, rip, I guess. And that's what started Ace. Ace was like, dude, we got to get this guy. Like, this goes against our very code. Like, you don't kill family. Like, you don't kill, on our crew. And straight up, Whitebeard was like, dude, that was sad. I love my son Thatch, who is now gone, but this feels sus as hell. So I think just for like, I think Thatch would forgive us if we just didn't this time. Like if we just don't. And then Ace was like, no, and then left, and everyone's like, and that's like when we meet Ace. Is that when Ace first leaves, and we meet him in Alabasta? He had began his hunt for Blackbeard to take revenge for Thatch. Who is also like the head chef. I think I know all their dynamics. I just think it's super interesting. Anyway, we cut back to, Whitebeard using his insane powers that like he punches the air crackles, nothing happens right away, and everyone's like, that can't be good. And then it's like it's like the force of the hit he made, the earthquake he created, like went around the goddamn earth and came back around and is creating this tsunami that's about to like destroy like the entire Marineford. And like that's just the base level easy for this guy. Like that's like his first move is just punch the air. Like,
And again, he is actively dying. Like
yeah.
that's him now when he is sick and dying. Imagine this dude at the top of his game.
Oh, I can. Meow.
Dear God.
Yeah, so it's just like cool. I'm glad we're starting off. I'm glad the tone immediately is set for this entire arc. And it's just like, let's go. So yeah, as everybody's like struggling, Alkuji is just like, say no more, because it's like not only is Whitebeard, I mean, this is like DBZ level, right? This is when like the level of powers come into play, or it's like this guy is the most unbelievable. Like this is Frieza. This guy conquered planets. This guy has enslaved planets. This guy's been around the block for a while doing this. Like, and it's like,
I mean, morally slightly different than Frieza, to be clear.
No, not. I'm just saying in terms of power. Like,
Okay.
it's like two huge powerhouses coming together because it's like you see Whitebeard do this thing, and it's like, well, guess I'll die. Like, it's like, how do you counter that? And then it's like you're reminded immediately, like, oh yeah, the Marines have strong guys too. And so Aokiji jumps up and like immediately before the water can like crash on everybody, freezes it.
What killed the dinosaurs?
Oh,
The ice
Me. This is where like a lot of like this is and like this, like you said, it's like this is where that DBZ fighting stuff happens, where everybody's kind of fighting everybody. The like there's a start of like some fighting happening. Like it's not the all out brawl yet, but it's like it's the showcase of power before
It's a
things
taste.
start. Yeah, it's a
Like, do you
taste.
guys still want to fuck around? Because we can stop here if you just hand over Ace.
It's find out time.
Yeah, it's literally like you fucked around. You want the consequences, and like we're not like 100% there yet. But it's like, Daddy's mad. Uh oh. It kind of worked out though because Aokiji froze the water, so now they have this platform to kind of like. If you don't have devil fruit powers, it's like, well, I guess I'll just walk on over, like doo doo doo, shoopa boop doo. Even though they're like frozen in the bay, and the Marines are like, cool, they're sitting ducks, haha, literally, like shoot them down, and it's just like, God, it's like so many things are happening right away. We're meeting all these people. We're seeing all these old OP people, like these like the OG, like really strong people. Like Mihawk is there. And like, remember how crazy that guy was? That guy went to the East Blue to fuck around. Like, that guy
By
went back.
himself on like two pieces of plywood.
Waiting for boats to come to him.
That guy beat the game, loaded it up, and went to the very first like place that you load up, and just was like beating. It's like having level 100 Pokemon, but not fighting any of the kids along the journey in your hometown, and like beating the crap out of kids with like level 3 Pokemon.
There's an anime that's specifically about that. It's what if a kid from the last Dungeon Boonies moved to the starter town, and everybody's just like training for this whole thing. It's like everybody's like, we're training to become knights and everything like that. And he just shows up and he's just like, yes, I'm going to do these things. They're like, all right, well, here's the archery contest. It's like you have to get, 3 arrows close to the center. And it's just like he shoots an arrow, the entire thing explodes. And like he's fighting all these giant monsters. Like, yeah, that's just a little bug. And they're like, this dude's wild. And it's like, that's kind of like Mihawk's energy where it's just like, I'm going to go to the beginning of the game now that I've beaten the game and go back and just see how everybody's doing. Hey, everybody, how's it
Goofing on the
going?
PvP server.
Mihawk is a whole ass adult who, like, if a child gives him a dirty look, he will like fight the child. Like he's like he challenged me to a duel. It's like he's 5, and he's like, yeah, and he's dead now.
He installed the Murder Children mod from Skyrim.
Yeah,
Is
it's
what
like
happened.
he doesn't pull punches for anybody, right? That's just his like energy. So immediately Mihawk is like, yo, test of power. That's my thing. I like knowing how strong I am. Immediately targets Whitebeard because everybody's like trying to go for the king, right? Because everybody thinks they got a bigger dick, and they don't. They don't have a bigger dick than Whitebeard, okay? And like just to prove it, all of Whitebeard's kids are like, you don't have a big dick. So Mihawk tries to slash at Whitebeard, and then tit for tat,
Slash.
we meet the 3rd division captain. We meet the 3rd division captain, Jozu, who has this really cool devil fruit, which is, I don't know it by name, but it basically he makes his body like into diamond, like as hard as diamond.
It's the Kira Kira no Mi, or the Twinkle Twinkle fruit.
Cute.
Oh, it should be
Twinkle fruit.
no, it should have been the bling bling fruit.
I like Twinkle Twinkle fruit. It's better. It's cuter because it's like, oh, twinkle, twinkle. What does it do? It makes my skin diamonds, and then I can crush your skull with it. Awesome.
Love that for
Saturday.
you. You know what? I see it now. So it's just like I love it because it's like all of these other people that we know who are really strong. Immediately, it's like these guys ain't shit because there's somebody else that has the exact same level and also like a devil fruit that can go up against their devil fruit or like ability. So Jozu immediately like counters Mihawk, and then Kizaru tries to go for Whitebeard as well. And then my husband, mine, my boy, my favorite boy, the pineapple, Marco the Phoenix. This is it. My husband. Finally, I can say it. I love him.
We're finally here.
He has a legendary Zoan fruit that is like, or a mythical. What do they call it? The mythical Zoan fruit, which is
Yeah.
it's like if like I don't know, like a unicorn or a dragon. Marco ate the phoenix fruit, and so this magnificent being, he turns into this like flaming blue bird. He is so cool, and so he counters Kizaru, and it's just like
Okay. I need to pause you there for 2 seconds, Molly,
No.
and I promise you that this is the last time I'm going to derail this particular episode. I promise.
Mhm.
Currently, what are you playing video game wise?
Oh no, Animal Crossing,
Okay, currently, who have you been posting about nonstop?
Brewster.
Okay, Brewster. Okay, so what is Brewster?
He's a bird barista.
Bird barista, right? Okay.
Birdrista.
Okay. So what I'm inferring here is that, and you've been calling him your husband and all these little.
He's been my husband for like longer than Marco has.
Right. So what I want to just say publicly, and Mark, get the little button ready.
Don't. No.
Our captain, the
No.
lovely Molly D. Simpy, is a bird fucker.
I feel partially responsible for this because I also posted a screenshot in Discord of Molly saying, I have 2 more Marco icons, but I gotta wait till she accuses me of being a bird fucker in relationship in relation to
Here's the
Kaden.
thing. This is what I've been waiting for since then. I have been waiting for this moment because every so often Molly's just like, "Oh, look at this." It's like, "Is that another bird, Molly?" And it's just like, "Yeah, it's my husband." It's like, "Okay, Molly.
I don't have
Molly
a
has
type.
You
I
don't
don't
have
have
a
a
type."
type.
Right, you
This
don't
is
have
all
a type.
this is all coincidence.
It just so happens that Brewster is now wearing grandpa clothes attire and is a bird and is just like, "Well, that's just a double whammy now, isn't it? It's grandpa bird."
That was so outrageous because that was a new addition to this game, and I immediately sent you guys a message, and I was like, "This motherfucker is just straight up wearing a Garp outfit. How did he become more my type? Like, how did this happen?"
Okay.
Molly, who's your favorite character from Breath of the Wild?
I know. Al, god damn it!
Oh
Okay.
wow!
I was
Go ahead.
just about to
Like,
say.
you didn't even
No,
have
I
to
know this
say
one
it,
too.
but I mean, we can infer really.
No,
at this point.
Molly needs to say it.
No. I actually can't remember his name right now, but Al is correct. I do love that character.
Rivali.
Rivali. No, not Rivali. The accordion guy.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
Cass.
Fucking
Good.
dare you, Rivali. Nobody likes Rivali. That guy
I
sucks.
like Rivali.
Caden, please.
I wish they made a Cass amiibo. instead
Aiden
of
has a
Rivali
type which is
amiibo.
kind of mean.
Kind of being a little bit of an asshole, but a heart of gold. That's what I like.
I have a screenshot for that too. Hold on, let me get it.
Listen. I have two types specifically. One, you're taller than me and you can take care of me and I can lean against you. And the other one is you have an energy similar to mine and we can clash and have that rivalry nonsense where we can bicker back and forth, and it's just like everybody has that whole like, "Oh no, they were roommates" thing, or "Oh, blah blah blah." It's like my energy in general with that whole dynamic is like get into an argument and then the argument turns out to making out in the closet together because like the argument turned at some point it's like, "Oh yeah, well make me shut up." "Well, how are you gonna make me shut up?" "Well, put your lips against my lips." "Well, okay, fine, all right," and then hot makeout session in the closet. Anyway, Molly, please continue. Sorry, we got distracted. Sorry. Molly,
Sorry?
Molly, sorry, Molly. Molly,
This is the
sorry?
episode for us to be like, "Daddy, sorry. Daddy, sorry.
Daddy,
Daddy,
sorry. Daddy,
This is the
sorry.
Daddy Sorry episode.
There's a lot of daddies.
There's so
here,
many
and a lot of-
potential sorries.
There's a lot of
I don't
sorries
think
and a lot of
potential
daddies.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like maybe one daddy and a lot of sorries.
No, there's a couple daddies here.
Name them.
I mean, not a lot of them are good, but they're daddies.
No, I don't. Daddies can only be good.
That's not true.
If they're not good daddies, they're fathers.
Yeah, daddy.
Tell
No,
me I'm wrong.
Molly, I hate to break it to you, but there's an entire subsection of the internet dedicated to proving that particular point as false.
If I don't see it, I don't believe it.
Please, Marineford, let's go. Let's get away from this as quickly as possible. Run,
Oh my God.
Mollicent.
All right, so it's popping off, right? We're going tit for tat. We're seeing all these like really impressive guys kind of being like less impressive because the other guy is also impressive. When everyone's impressive, no one's impressive, but also very impressive.
Are we
So
still
yeah.
talking about daddies?
No. No. But yeah, it's like it's basically like everyone's jumping in now. So the people
It's
I was
Molly. We're always
name-
talking about daddies.
I'm always talking about my favorite daddies. But then we meet this they're going back and forth. The guy I
Right
hate.
in the daddy's parking lot.
One
Oh my
black
God.
coffee.
God, okay. Can I go?
Yes, I'm sorry.
I don't know
Please
anymore.
save all jokes for the end of the podcast.
No.
Make a note.
I have something very real. I was just trolling on Instagram and got an ad for Marco's Pizza. Okay, feel free. Go ahead.
Yo, Marco's Pizza.
Are you guys skimming the internet while I'm talking about daddies?
I'm playing Cookie Run Kingdom. If we're
Oh my
being
God.
honest,
Oh my God.
I'm grinding.
Oh my. Thank you, Al.
It's the
Yeah.
daddy episode. Never mind. Go.
Basically, it's all hell's breaking loose. But then we meet this new guy called Little Oars Jr. Do you guys remember Oars?
Hell yeah, I do.
Yeah, Pain
Y'all
in the
remember that
ass.
guy from fucking Thriller Bark? He's dead. Spoiler alert.
He was dead. He was dead, and then they brought him back to life, and then they killed him again.
Yeah.
So dead, they killed him twice.
We can only assume this is his child because his name is Whittle Ors Jr.
He is not
Um,
Whittle.
In fact, he was big.
Big
Large.
Large. So yeah, all the Marines start panicking because there's this giant all of a sudden, and it's like I think when they introduce Little Ors Jr., he's like trying to like not be noticeable, but he's like hee hee, like he's like has his like hands covering his face, like they can't see me, I can't see them, and somebody finally notices him, like oh who's that guy, and he's like hee hee. But yeah, so then they have this giant on Whitebeard pirate jumping in. Everyone's freaking out. Oh, and then everybody hates this guy, Marita. He's like immediately like, if we kill this one, then I'll have a new Oz corpse. Like, yes, yes. That guy sucks.
I hate Moria. Moria
Dude,
sucks.
me too. I really hated him, and then I hate that he came back here because I was like, no, we're done with you. We already did
Yeah,
your arc.
that was kind of like the most like this whole thing was just like it's like the rogues gallery of everything here, and it's just like oh we kicked your ass and your ass and your ass and your ass, and this guy's Whitebeard, and he could probably just look at you and then you'll die.
Mhm.
And I would like that to happen to you, Moria, like specifically you.
Please die. And yeah, so Oris is just going in, and there is like some semi plan of attack, and so Whitebeard is like, dude, don't just rush ahead, right? Like, don't Leroy Jenkins this. But like little Oris is like actually like really good friends with Ace, and so he's like, no, Dad, like don't tell me not to, like please, I want to save him, I want to save Ace. And so Whitebeard's like, all right, you convinced me. Everybody back up Oars. And so he's like trying to speed run this like 3-tier level defense to get to the stage where Ace is on.
Ace rescue
Um,
any percent run.
yeah. And at the same time, like Hancock is just like attacking everybody with her powers, and she doesn't give a shit who gets in the way because it's like
Big
Marines
move.
or pirates. So they're like, "Hey, we're on the same team," and she's like, "I'm on my own team, bitch."
I'm on team Luffy is the best.
Friendly
Yeah.
fire switched off, bitch.
Yeah, entirely. She's just like, why am I? Is that something I'm supposed to care about?
The best part is that like it kind of plays off in the sense that because of how her devil fruit works, the government is just like, oh well, these people are just getting caught in the crossfire. That's fine. She's trying to do her job because she's still, getting some of the pirates too. But like she's considerably hitting less of the pirates than the Marines.
Mhm. And then since all of the warlords now seem to be stepping in, like Kuma uses like some crazy like Ursa shock with his Niku, which that's such a cute. We've talked about it. He's got beans.
Yeah, he's got little paws.
He's got
He got
little beans.
Little bear paws.
That sends you into oblivion.
Yeah. So he takes a huge hit
Beans
on
of yeeting.
The yeet beans.
So he hits Kuma hits Oars with like a really powerful attack, and like it's really sad because all this stuff is happening in front of Ace, and Ace can't do anything about it because he's got that oh god, what are they called? The handcuffs. Yeah, it's like not only is he handcuffed, but he's also like in a weakened state, and so he's just watching all this unfold. And little Oars gets hit, and he's like, no, like they're saying like because he's so big, he's an easy target. And he'll never make it. And he's like, ow. But he's like, no, he's like, he flashbacks to like how great a bestie Ace is with him, where like Ace makes him this like straw hat, like the what do they call it? The pointy straw hat. I can't remember. It's the pointy like he made him a hat basically because he's so big, he's like closer to the sun, and so it's hot, right? There's the logic there. And like it's hard for Ace because dude's made of fire, and so when you're weaving straw, sometimes it goes up in flames. And so he spent a really long time making this giant hat for Oars, and Oars was like really touched by this gift. Where like he was outside in all types of inclement weather, like rain and snow, and he's like, my head's dry, and he's a good boy. Okay, he's a good boy.
It is a casa hat.
A casa hat?
Kasa. A
Okay.
casa.
I don't think I knew that. Clearly. But yeah, he made him one of those. And it's like, that's nice. That's really nice. It's just this whole arc is just like meeting all these new people. They're really cool people, and then
Well,
seeing
you
how
like that
all
character? You like him?
and like seeing like how all of their like bromance relationships are with Ace, where it's like, I gotta save my bestie, and they cut to like them having like a conversation in like the Taco Bell parking lot because you just broke up with your girlfriend, and Ace like answered his phone at 3 a.m. and was like, bro, let's get Taco Bell, we'll talk it out. You know, it's like it's like all these people who love Ace, and they give him these quick little cuts to be like, this is really the personal and like emotional level is that we didn't see ever, but it's like we have to give you some type of flavor context because this is supposed to mean things to you right away. And so he's still like, he's like owie, and he's still reaching for Ace, and of course like Doflamingo hits him some more, and then as like a final like slap in the face as he's reaching for Ace, Moria sends his shadows like straight through him like a spear, skewering him through his midsection, and he's like,
Flamingo like takes off his leg, right? He just like cuts it off.
he might have.
I hate that dude.
Probably.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
really know who the hell he is very much. Like, they really haven't shown him off much, but like
He's nasty. You don't need to know
his
anything
energy,
else.
his
Yeah.
energy.
Easy.
Whack.
Mm-mm.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Whack
His
nasty.
outfit, whack. His vibe, whack.
Whack.
His shoes, whack. The way that he styles his hair, whack.
Whack. I hate that guy. He's not good. So it's like already on top of like we're seeing this really sweet moment, and it's like you see him reaching for Ace, and Ace is like devastated, and then he just is like it's like football, football. Like this guy's getting riddled, and he's still being like my bestie, like reaching for him, and it's like no, like no. And so that guy we assume dies, and all the Whitebeard pirates are like, dude, what the fuck? Like that's not only is that Ace's bestie, that's our bestie too. That's our brother. Like that's our brother. And then yeah, of course, like Doflamingo is like talking shit now. So all of the division captain or commanders are like, fucking let's get this guy.
Yeah, throw that gourd in the trash. Or compost if you have compost.
No.
It's November. Halloween's over.
No. No.
No, the
Wow.
gourd. Moria.
Oh, well, they're mad at Doflamingo. Because
Yes.
Doflamingo's like being like,
Take 'em
again,
both out.
being whack, being gross, being nasty, don't like it. So then, yeah, stuff's just going on. Like, it's just like, how many episodes is this? And it's all just like tit for tat. Like, okay, we're gonna go towards oh, and this guy shows up. Well, then this guy, it's like a game of chess. Like wherever you're like, you make a move, they make a move. We're going back and forth. But the important thing is that Luffy and the escapees finally arrive at Marineford. How do they arrive via Marineford? Not through the door. I don't have a bit.
I was like,
I was waiting. It's like, what's
Yeah, it's like where's the payoff to the joke?
They did.
Where's the pun or something? Molly, just describe it.
Much like there's the surprise you guys just felt that there wasn't a payoff to that joke, so too were the Marines and the Whitebeards surprised when Luffy and all of them fall out of the sky. And at the same time, we meet like the only woman, I swear to God, she's the only fucking daughter, like, you know, the quote unquote, like the parentheses daughter to Whitebeard, which is Whitey Bay. She's called like the Ice Witch, and she's cool. And she's got this boat that's like an icebreaker ship. And like, he's got a lot of sons, and like they never talk about the women on board. Also, the first time you meet Whitebeard, kind of like a weird sexist, like how big is like, you know, like how cool is this guy? Oh, he's got sexy nurses waiting on hand and foot.
like when I was looking back and like, when did we see him on life support the whole time? And we did, and I forgot about the sexy
Yeah,
nurses.
it's like this weird, like all of these women in like scantily clad outfits, like Hello Nurse level stuff, and like him drinking wine, but he's like, and like in his like his lazy boy chair, but you know, still larger than life on life support.
You mind if I out myself real quick?
Uh-oh.
Because I always do this to myself, and I might as well like get ahead of the game here. Oh look, a very tall or a picturesque, very confident woman with white hair who's in very
Mhm.
formal clothing and is a bit of a oh no, she's kind of mean energy and yada 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 yada. Yeah, of course I like her. Of course she's amazing.
So if we've got your wife, we've got Big Mood. Is there a descriptor for Whitey Bay?
Well,
Great day for Bay.
I don't know. There's just something about a white-haired girl with ice powers that kind of speaks to me in a lot of different ways, and I'm not going to go into that any further.
You should let it go.
No.
It's Whitey Bay with an E. Like
Yeah.
that's
Whitey
it.
Bay. Ice Switch.
I just like how confident she is with like breaking Aokiji's like whole like it's a giant ice wall, and she's just like, okay, my entire thing is like going through that parts of what do you think you're really doing? Like we're specifically designed. It's basically like okay. So you know how in like most movies where it's just like, oh, we've established this is our crew, and then like halfway through the movie franchise is like, here's the alternate evil versions of you, right?
Mhm.
One Piece flipped that, where it's like, here's like all these, military people with all their powers, and then Whitebeard shows up. It's like, here are your doppelgangers that do good and are pirates, and they can absolutely beat you in a one-on-one fight, and are specifically tailored to kicking your ass specifically. And Whitey Bay just literally her entire shit. She's an icebreaker. She has an icebreaker ship. It's like Aokichi's just like, look, we're safe, and she just goes, and it's like, well, that didn't last.
Bitch, you thought.
You thought though. You thought though. But anyway, white-haired anime girls with ice powers. Something about that. I'm
Yeah.
not talking about
This
it.
whole fight is like
It's-
big 1v1 me on
Yeah.
Final Destination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like no
Um,
items.
Fox versus Falco.
No, Fox only. No items. Final destination. Let's go.
And like all of these kind of like tit for tat moments, I also I'm realizing that like it was also like how Oda kept cutting chapters on like major like cliffs, right? Like he this whole arc, everything that happens every chapter, you're like you can't end it there, and then you have to wait a week to see what happens. So all of these things where it's like I have a gun, I have a bigger gun. It's like, oh no, they have a gun. What are we gonna do? Next chapter, I have a bigger gun. Oh no, what are they gonna do? They've got a bigger gun. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
like Whitey Bay shows up, she breaks the ice that is like keeping all the ships trapped in the bay, basically, and has now like opened the waterway up for all the ships to land so that the non-important pirates who don't have, it's more of like the cannon fodder people can get on land and fight.
Yeah, the not core it's like because it was Whitebeard's ship that was there, and then then the fleet that's outside now
Yeah.
just came in. So it's like here's here's his A game, and then he turned to Whitey Bay. He's like, you stay outside. So when I say, oh look, it's it's like, well, looks like we need an icebreaker. Then you come in and then you use that, and then everybody comes in. She's like, well, that's a really dumb joke, Dad, but okay.
Yeah. But it's like so now like it's like we're full like this is a full on war now because now all the non-important people can kind of get out and start slashing and fighting and shooting guns and things like that. And so
Luffy's whole crew,
and then
B
yes,
crew is here too.
so we see that like when Aokiji froze the water that when Whitebeard used his earthquake powers,
His shimmy shams.
yeah, their ship was like up on a tidal wave, and they're like, "Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!" And then everything froze, and they're like, "Oh, thank God!" But also, we're stuck up here, and so they end up like using Ivankov's like Hell Wink to like launch themselves, and so they just happen to land on like a spot, like an iceberg that was like just previously broken by Whitey Bay. So it's like all of these like, oh no, the water's broken. Like, what's Luffy gonna do? Because he's gonna fall in the water. Oh, just kidding. He lucked out. Like, it's all these like tit for tat, like end of chapter. Like, oh no, what are we gonna like? What? How will our heroes survive next time?
That's why I love and hate the next time on One Piece things where it's just like, what will happen to Luffy? Luffy's fine.
Luffy's fine. Yeah.
He's all right. Don't worry about it. He's okay.
Yeah. It's like they totally take all the suspense out of it. But yeah, now they're all there. Now we have this third group that is not technically associated with Whitebeard. They have the same agenda, but they aren't technically on the same side. It's just like two different pirate groups versus the Marines. And it's just like as if it can't get any chaotic, like any more chaotic. And yeah, he like climbs up and he's like, Ace, I'm here to save you. And like Ace is like, why are you here? Like, get out of here. No. Because he's already like worried about Luffy. He thinks Luffy got captured at Impel Down. Like the last thing he heard before they like when they took him outside, he was trying to get back inside to get Luffy. And they're like, hoo, nothing can save your brother now. And it's like, cool, your brother's saved, but he like dropped himself in the middle of like everyone has a gun. Like luckily he's a rubber man, but it's like it's more of like thematically, you know, it's like your favorite little sibling, this little boy, your little baby brother that you love so much is like suddenly in the middle of like the most deadly, like your generation's most deadly like situation where like all these level 100 people who can like no scope kill you from like across the map are all there. And then your baby was like, hi, I've never played Fortnite before, but I'm here too.
You land in the middle of the enemy base and start flossing.
There's a lot of like chaos stuff that happens here. Like there's a lot of like describing all the fights almost seems pointless, but there's a lot of like really cool one-on-one moments. There's a lot of cool like little things here. One of my favorite people in the world, Alejandro, shows up in this as a tiny voice. I'm just like, no way, that's not can't possibly. I rewind it. It's like, no, that's absolutely Alejandro. So it's kind of cool to hear him there. But it's like, it's literally like, this is what everything has been going towards. This is like what like I expected was going to happen. This is the all-out war. And, you know, it's like, then it's like a lot of like intercutting all of that stuff with these heartfelt moments with Ace and Whitebeard and Ace and Luffy, and then all these like different things are happening, and I really want to briefly mention this and then we can get the hell away from it and then not mention it ever again.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it'll be plot relevant later and we can harken back to it. This entire time, Buggy's here now. Buggy is just like, I'm gonna hijack a camera and make it look like I'm doing all this really cool stuff. And he's just doing it, and people are just like, oh, wow, that's actually, wow. Oh, he's doing this. It's like, it's played off like really cheeky and really cheesy, but this is going to pay off because you don't just spend that amount of time. Like the episodes spend a lot of time. Just like, here's Buggy doing this stuff. Make a note of it. I don't know what that means, but like, I don't know. Buggy's going to become important because Buggy decided to paint a target on Buggy, and it's going to end up being a problem later. But all of that is happening all at once, all out war. Let's get to these last like major like focal points of this, because like it's a lot of fighting. Like there's a lot, like as far as the anime was concerned, it was just like, and then here's like 15 episodes of beating the shit out of each other. Okay.
There's a cool moment when Luffy lands next to Whitebeard, and it's just like, I don't know who the hell you are, old man, but shut up, I'm gonna go save my brother. And he's like, I like this kid.
He's like, I like this guy's got moxie. I like this kid. This kid's feisty.
This
like
kid
that.
is already my son, and he didn't even join my group.
Yeah. It's like, wow, this is awkward. I didn't even know I had another son.
I didn't
Like,
know that
clearly
Ace
this is my boy.
I didn't know that Ace had a brother that was my son now.
I'm so proud of them.
I just love this situation though, because like previously at Impel Down, when they had reports that Luffy infiltrated prison, Garp was like, that's fucking hilarious. Like that's he's like eating chips and like non-pulsed about it. And like as his like other grandson is about to die, and he's like, that's fucking Luffy's fucking crazy, dude. And he's like, that's all you have to say for your goddamn family, Garp. And then as like Luffy shows up here, like Sengoku's like, God damn it, Garp, you and your goddamn family. And Garp's like, how'd he get here? Like he's like, dude, he was like a block away. Like, why are you surprised?
By all accounts, like the Crunk thing, by all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I just love that, like, the tonal shift of like 100 chapters where like fucking Garp's like, that's fucking hilarious. And then like the tonal shift of like, I didn't think he'd come here. And it's like, what do you mean you didn't think he'd come here? You knew he was trying to rescue Ace, you idiot. And it's like, also I love this moment when like it's like Luffy takes the stage or whatever. Like everybody's all eyes on Luffy because he just shows up so chaotically. And we have this quick moment where like, even though it's like your little baby brother just showed up in like the middle of like this really intense like 1v1 match, and you're like, no, my sweet child, I must protect. You like realize that all of these big names know who your brother is and have beef with him or some type of history with him. And they take a really quick minute for like everybody to react to Luffy showing up. So like Hancock's like, my husband, and everyone's like, that kid's like, I think Moria is like foaming at the mouth. He's like, Straw Hat. And it's like, hold up, Luffy, are you friends with celebrities? Like, how do all these people, do you shitpost online? How does everybody know you? How does everybody know you? And then yeah, it's like this really sweet moment where like Luffy's like, all right, there's my brother. I see the plan. I see what I'm doing here. The goal is clear. Like, let's go. And he's up there with Whitebeard, and it's like again, like Luffy has no context of celebrities. He's just kind of like, you're here. What's up? And it's like everybody's like, how is he casually talking to Whitebeard like that? And Luffy's just like, well, I don't know who he is, so I have no fear. Like, or it's like even if he does know who he is, he doesn't care. There's no grasp of like why he should care. So then yeah, and then it's like it's really funny because it's like also the moment when all of these Whitebeard pirates meet Luffy for the first time. And it's like also a moment where they take a second to say like, Ace never shuts up about this guy. This must be the guy. Like Ace is constantly talking about his little brother. And then like Luffy pulls some moves in the war, and then all of Ace's friends are like, he's not half bad. Like it's like
Oh,
Well,
we thought
your
we
brother's
thought you were
actually
just
okay.
yeah, we
Yeah.
thought you were just hyping him up. No, he's just as crazy as you are. Awesome.
all of like Ace's friends on the Whitebeard Pirates are like, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, I fuck with that. Okay. And just like from there, it's just like God. There's just so much happening.
It's a
I can't.
bunch of small moments. Like we get an interaction between Kuma and Ivankov, which confirms that Kuma is like fully gone.
Yeah.
Like his body is there, but he's not inhabiting it, so to
Mhm.
speak.
Yeah.
Luffy just charging through. Like Moria fights Jimbei. Somewhere in here, just so that we don't have to talk about him anymore. It looks like Doflamingo
Mhm.
kills. It's just like, no one's paying attention. Let me just kill this man. And it's like, who are you? What do you do? Who do you actually work for? Anyway,
Yeah.
just so many like little interactions of Luffy running past people. Smoker and Big Mood end up fighting for a bit. Big Mood gets the upper hand because goddamn right she does.
And
Mhm.
also like convinces him to swap sides in the middle of this. It was just like it was so weird because there was like there was so much like side swapping happening. It's like because it's at one point Crocodile is just like, I'm here. Maybe I should probably be on the Marine side. Maybe I should probably be doing that right now. And Smoker's just like, I'm on the Marine side, and gets like handedly beaten by Hancock. It's like, maybe I should be working with the pirates on this one because they kind of seem morally more sound. And this is where like I actually started to like Smoker a lot because like he's like, maybe I should be challenging this. And then Crocodile's just like, I would like to be the one who wins. I would
Yeah.
like to win this.
Well, like Crocodile comes out and is straight up like at some point to Luffy was like, "Yo, I'm gonna kill Whitebeard," and Ace was like, or Luffy was like, "Hey, that's my brother's friend, so maybe don't." But also like, fuck you, that's your priority. I don't care. And then when he tries to like kill Whitebeard, Luffy immediately stops him and he's like, "Bro, we had a deal." He's like, "I don't know what you're talking about, but like, don't. That's Ace's friend. Like, whatever. Fuck you." But yeah, it's all these like back and forths. It's like all these old Marines. Like Hina shows up again, tries to capture Luffy. Like, and Ace just has to sit there and kind of take it while like he's seeing all of his friends like either get injured or like some of the lesser pirates like dying or like getting grievously wounded, and like Luffy's kind of like, if you will, the last straw, like like the last
Straw
straw
hat?
of it.
Yeah. The last
because-
straw hat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's his little brother, and so he's like yelling from the where he is, where he's like, "Stop, dude! Like, do you know how fucking humiliating it is to be saved by a weakling?" And like he's just trying to like he's like trying to yell him because he's like, "I don't want to bring you down, man. Like we already like have like we're demons because of our dads, like because of these like stupid people." And I love this moment where Luffy's like, "Shut up! I am your little brother, and I am going to save you." And everybody's like, "Aw, that's nice. Like, I like that. That's so cute." And then, yeah, everybody's like, "Ace, we'll save you. We'll save you. We're here for you." And Ace is like, "You know what? I was ready to fucking die. Like, I guess I'll die. But now that my friends are here and they're trying so hard, I'll like put my fate into their hands, basically." And so he kind of like is like a less of a party pooper because he's like less that he's waiting to die and he's more of waiting to see the outcome of like his life and the balance, because on top of all his Roger issues he has, like everybody basically his whole life has told him like if Rogers did have a kid, like they shouldn't be alive, basically, like they should just die. And so he's been carrying that shit around his whole life. And it's like his whole journey is like, why am I alive? But like to a higher degree. I mean, everybody's like, why am I alive? Like, what is the purpose of life? But for him, it's like everybody tells me I should die, so should I? And then that's like also I love that he has this conversation with Garp and when he was like 5, he's like, "Should I die?" And he's like, "I don't know, man. Like that's something for you to figure out." And it's like, Garp, that is
Good
like
job, Garp.
don't like when he's 5, dude, like reassure him. When he's older, maybe have that like kind of philosophical talk, but like give him some fucking reassurance. Like this is why Garp is the worst parent, but also the best parent. It's just like it's the most like I'm gonna be a real parent, and when they ask about Santa Claus, I'm gonna be straight with them. You know what I mean? But it's like a little too early, a little too soon to be truthful. Like give them like let them have their childhood a little bit. And then
Garp is
Garp's
Bean Dad.
yeah, but it's just like, should I live? I don't know, man. Should any of us be alive? It's like, dude, not the
Bruh,
time.
not right now, please.
Like, can you
Please,
just
not right
say
now.
something fucking nice? Like, can you say that, like, I don't know, like maybe you like him being alive because he's your grandson and you love him? Like, can't you like give him something? Like, throw him a fucking bone? Like, God. So yeah, everything's popping off. Like the Marines have this secret thing they're doing, while everybody's like distracted by the fighting. Um, Whitebeard's trying to get a hold of somebody, one of the division captains, and he can't get a hold of him. And he's like a little like he takes a moment to be like, huh, that's hope he's okay. Like a little sus, but like hope he's okay. And we're seeing.
Fine.
Yeah, I think it's a bad signal. That's it. Bad signal. Yeah, it's just like all these things going on. And then we have like more tit for tat where like Moria is trying to I think he's like trying to go after Luffy, and it's like Luffy's like, not this guy again. I hate this guy. And then immediately we see like I just love these team ups so much because then it becomes Moria versus Jinbei. And like what is Moria's weakness? Salt. Salt. And so it's like, and you have this fishman who can control like the ocean water. And it's like immediately like Moria is like immediately like taking like shadows from all of the people around him, and he's like like remember like how much of a badass I was. And then like Jinbei comes in with one fucking punch and he's like like it's like the scene from Spirited Away when No Face just starts vomiting aggressively. It's like that, but shadows come out.
There's one other like there's a scene right around here too where we cut to like Kobe who's here.
Yeah, Kobe's like
And Kobe's just like, Luffy, stop! And Luffy's just like, Kobe, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't have time for this. And then just punches him right in the face. It's like, I'm not gonna kill you because we're friends, but in the way. And then just decks him.
All Kobe's are bastards.
No, it's like, well, it's like, right. It's that thing where it's like, hey man, I respect you and I respect, it's like, I respect our rivalship. So it's like, I can't just run away and not hit you. Like, I'm going to take you seriously. And he does. And he punches
but also
him
like
in the face.
immediately dead.
Yeah,
like immediately,
yeah.
like immediately one hit KO. And that's kind of where Kobe's just like, oh, I have so much still to do and so much to learn.
Yeah. But like to be fair, like I don't know. I can't talk about it yet. But yeah, it's just like all these things going on. Also, like we keep cutting back to Kobe, who's like the only person like actually reacting to war in the right way, where it's like, holy fuck, this is fucked up. Like people are dying. Like, do you guys know that people are dying out here?
He's like feeling stuff, which is just like he's like.
Oh,
that
also,
is-
yeah, something's going on with him.
yeah,
He's unlocking his feelings.
yeah, he's got hockey. Don't like, come on, you know he's
We're
got
not
hockey.
there yet.
Oh,
Come
We're
on,
not at the
what
hockey
else is it gonna
players.
be? What else is it gonna be? Magic feeling juice?
Well, no, because like we had whatever the little girl's name in Skypiea was, who could like hear things, but it wasn't that. You
It's-
know?
it's hockey.
I know what you're saying. I don't remember the term for it.
No, but like that's to say like that was a power that wasn't necessarily something that could be categorized as hockey.
Mm.
It's like, what do they call it? The voice of the world, or like, do you hear voices? Oh my god, we have to tell a quick sidebar. We can absolutely cut this. We have to tell Mark. We have to tell Kaden our new OC, Hot Goss.
Oh, hot goss.
Yeah,
oh,
Hot
yeah.
Goss.
God.
We came up with a new
no.
Marine.
Yeah, we came up with a new marine in the pre-show where I don't even know what the impetus of it was, but was a if a marine, they could use this as a like a strategic thing where did we make up a name for the fruit? Either way, the ability is it's a no me. If you make eye contact with somebody, you can whisper to them.
Not just eye contact. We said that if they can
If you
see
can see
you,
them.
Yeah,
if
if you
they
can be
can see
seen.
you.
That's right. If the devil fruit user can see you, they can whisper to you.
That's
Yeah.
cute. I like that.
And
I
then
like that.
yeah, that just
Hot
reminded me
goss.
though. Like imagine, and I was saying like imagine you're on like a battlefield and you hear someone like, hey, this is and you're like, who said that? Like it's like I don't like it. And we also clarified that they see you. That doesn't mean that you can see them. And so I put it into context of like, what if it was Thriller Bark and it was somebody who had like a portrait where you could remove the eyes and put like you like so you could look through, and then like just start fucking whispering like. How quickly do you go from like God or like ghosts? Like
Okay, here's my follow-up question. As like devil fruit like abilities become like more like pronounced and so on and so forth. So like Luffy realizing, "Oh, I can like circulate my own blood faster by, rubberizing my blah 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 whatever, yada yada yada." At what point does this, hot goss person have the ability to just like look at a picture of somebody and then be able to like tell them something from that distance?
That's their gear second. If they
That's-
can
yeah.
look at pictures and talk
Just
to them
look at a
like
picture.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
oh my god.
Like Wolverine.
Just pirate emperor of logistics.
Oh,
but
man.
the character from Skypiea looked it up earlier, Aisa, and they called it mantra.
Okay.
Well,
Isn't Mantra just kind of another version of hockey?
but like her specifically was like she could hear things, and I there
Mantra is hockey, but we're saying that this specific thing is not necessarily hockey.
and being 100%, this hasn't been identified as a hockey ability.
Yeah. That's what we're saying. But Mantra for sure is. They've mentioned it on
Because that's what I thought. That's what I was
Hancock.
assuming. Because that's what they like harkened back to. It's like, oh, well, she was doing this, and they were talking about Mantra. Then okay, so he's kind of got his own version of that because he's a sensitive little bab. So it's like that's just like his.
Oh, hockey has been introduced. Duh.
What's that?
Sorry, like I had said that we hadn't gotten to hockey.
No,
yet.
we've
Totally
been
have.
in Hockey Town for a while.
Mhm. And since
Canada?
Boa Hancock,
We visited Canada. We learned about hockey. We came back.
Amazon Lily, we talked about it, and
right.
he used his previous experience. But just to clarify what Mark is saying, that ability has not been clarified, and it wasn't clarified in Amazon Lily yet.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's just like tit for tat again. We got stuff going on with Boa Hancock. Everybody's impressed that they think Luffy took her down, but she's just reacting. Like he hugged her, and they're like, "Holy shit, he broke her spine!" Like she falls to the ground.
Yeah,
Smoker's being a
he said,
bitch.
thank you for everything, Hancock. And it's like,
Yeah.
when your crush tells you thank you, it's like I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have been able to make it here without you. It's like, yeah,
Well, like on top of that too, the whole reason that she sidebars with him is that she got Ace's key to his cuffs. And so he's like, "Holy, like this is the answer to everything. I just have to get there now." And so he gives her this big bear hug and like melts, and everybody's like, "Oh God, how did he do that?" Crocodile's continually being a little bitch.
She wonders if that was an act of marriage. It's like, are
Yeah,
we married now?
are we married now? Crocodile's still going after Whitebeard, back and forth. We have some more stuff. Like they kind of talk a little bit more about Kuma and like they kind of throw in some flavoring for what's going on there. Doflamingo's being a bitch. I know, shocking. And then Mihawk is going after Luffy now, which is like, oh geez, this again. Like Buggy is also being like, come on, crew, like let's show them. And like,
Nervous laughter.
he's like getting all these new followers to be like, fuck yeah, Buggy, let's go. And then like as they're all going forward, like Buggy's kind of like 2 steps behind them. So then yeah, Luffy and Mihawk are fighting, and just like as Buggy's like, forward troops, like Luffy grabs Buggy to throw at Mihawk, which we've talked about good pairings before, but it's like the man with the strongest cut ability, like the man who can cut anything, versus the guy who can just like he's
You literally cannot cut me.
the guy's like fruit is called the chop fruit, right? It's like you can't. This is chopped. You can't. He's
You can't
already
slice and dice what's already been diced and sliced. You can't slap chop me, Mr. Man.
Yeah, and I love it because like Luffy drags him into this fight, and he's like, "Fuck you, Mihawk. Whatever. I'm tired of this," and like throws his special monkey ball at Mihawk, who just like casually deflects it, and that's where we have that emoji that we use all the time in the Discord, where it's like it's Buggy smiling.
Bug-eyed Buggy.
Yeah, bug-eyed Buggy, where you see the bullet like about to hit him. It's like he gets
On top of that, too, like him getting cut by the world's strongest swordsman and living to tell about it adds to like, even though like whatever, like his devil fruit is whatever, but this is being broadcast, so people can see him survive that cut. Like all of
the Buggy lore.
The Buggy lore in this arc is outstanding. And it's just adding to his failing upwards of quote unquote power level.
And again, thank you, Luffy, for doing that, because all of this like proves to the point where Luffy's doing things with intent, and through no actual purpose of his own, Buggy looks great. Like in this grand scheme of things, wow, he fought Mihawk and lived, and Mihawk couldn't even cut him. And it's like, okay, y'all don't know the context of that. You just see that, and then they're just like, wow, he must be really strong. And Buggy's just like, I keep winning by being moderately average at nothing.
Yeah, he's failing upward, as we keep saying. But yeah, so when Sengoku dropped the mic earlier and they felt like a little bit of like a something's not right here, they're like, cut the feed, like we'll come back when we're ready. And then at some point Buggy steals a camera and is like, what's up, gamers, like welcome to my Twitch channel. And they're like, stop him, he
literally raided the stream.
Yeah,
he did.
straight up. And so then they're like, they don't want to show this to the public, right? Because it puts it doesn't put the Marines in a good light, because they're not exactly winning, and they're also like, shit is happening on their doorstep. So it's like, how much of like how they don't seem so reliable in this moment, right? So they're like, quickly, like turn off your cell phone, it's illegal. So all this stuff is going on. So then now on top of that, like the whole world is seeing this devastating war, but it's still focused on Buggy. So it's like, what's up, gamers? With the Denny's parking lot, everybody is fighting, and ow, I just got punched like crazy, dude, crazy. So he throws like Buggy at Mihawk. He distracts Mihawk. Luffy she's trying to like run up to the stage to get to Ace. The world is watching, and he's like, cut the feed. And then suddenly more battleships begin to appear from behind, and as they're like, they're not allies, like Whitebeard and Luffy and Ivankov recognize who's on board, and it's Sentomaru, which is the Marine who's also voiced by the same voice actors as Luffy, if you've noticed in the Japanese version. He just showed up, and he's also backed by an army of at least 20 pacifista, which is just like it's like the Kuma groupies showed up basically.
It's the Kuma crew.
Yes.
And
Kumarmi.
much as how this episode has gone over an hour and a half, this battle that we've described has only gone on for an hour and a half. And we're like maybe halfway.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna take a pause here. We've put you guys on a bit of a cliffhanger.
The stage is set. Luffy's got the key to rescue
Luffy's
Ace.
got the key.
The pacifistas have arrived in droves.
Mhm,
Everyone is clashing. It is all out war.
mhm.
What could possibly happen next?
I don't
I'm
know.
dying to know.
I don't
Because
know.
the thing is like, that's where things are. It's like that's literally what could possibly happen next. You think that you're at this ultimate moment, but I assure you, things are about to get a little bit more wild and a little bit more crazy. But we'll save that for next time.
Wild and crazy times.
I love this arc so much. I love all these characters. I love all these new introduced characters, and it's like really cool powers. I like all their personalities. Like right before the pacifistas show up, Mihawk is trying to go after Luffy again, and Marco is like, "Hey, other commander, like take care of this guy." And it's a swordsman, and like apparently again, like another like big guy apparently because his name is Vista, and Mihawk knows who he is, and even
Windows
he
Vista?
has, huh? No,
Windows Vista?
no. But like it's this like quick I like this like one little line of dialogue where Mihawk is like, "Oh, you must be Vista." And Vista's like, you know me?" Like it's like even he's like a little flattered. He's like, hello?"
You know what? I know that we're about to try and kill each other, but big fan.
Oh man.
I'm surprised you know who I am.
Mad respect for everything you do. Can you die? Can you go die?
Can you be worse than me? Can I sword you first? Can that?
There's
Okay. all right.
there's so
Just
much
from a
stuff
fan to
happening.
from a fan to a celebrity. Can I stab you?
Can I just real quick? Just real quick. No, it's like there's just so much happening in this damn arc, and even like being able to talk about Marco. I barely talked about Marco,
The
and
thing
like
is Marco's big stuff kind of happens not right now.
I know, but
Mhm.
he still shows up. Like he's the first division commander. Like he is like a big deal. Like he
He's
is.
flying around like a giant phoenix kicking ass like this entire time.
I love him so much. He is the best. I love him so much. I love him. I love him. Caden, you might know the Japanese voice actor who voices him is also the voice actor who does Ichigo, right? In Bleach.
Yup.
Uh,
That's
yeah.
one of the things that I noticed. It's just like, it's my boy Ichigo.
You're like,
It's my
It's the
Ichibro.
Ichibro.
We got it. We did it.
Yeah, I know.
Same
I know
hat.
that voice actor is like famous for Ichigo, but I'm always like, that's the guy who does Marco.
Molly meeting him in real life, it's like yes, okay, yeah. It's just like who do I make this out to, and I'll write Ichigo's little thing. It's like no, it's from Marco, please. From Marco, please. I will just say from Marco. Just say from Marco, please. From Marco.
Mom will walk
Thank
up
you.
with a binder of like 8x10s of
Pineapples.
Marco.
Oh my god. But it's
Individually signed pineapple.
But
Please.
seriously, like, you know how, I mean, Caden, you're a voice actress, but like how you put your characters in your Twitter banner. Like, I swear to God, like, if he had a Twitter banner, it would just be like Ichigo. Like, I don't even know if he even fully understands he's in One Piece. Like, because he's like so focused in other areas.
Like every once in a while, you get a role that's just like this defines me. I mean, I had May as my banner for like a while. So like, no, it's just May Marigold time. This is what this is. This is like my May Marigold era, and now I'm in this whole like I'm doing a lot, which is just like I want to showcase all of these things. Will there be a time where May Marigold becomes a big part of my banner and or only part of my banner? I'll never tell.
I'll
That's
never
something from
tell.
Molly. I'll
I'll never tell, but probably.
but yeah, no, I mean, like, there's always these, like, I mean, Steve Bloom with, like, it's like Cowboy Bebop and voicing Spike Spiegel. He's got a
Yeah.
tattoo of the final time he says bang, like, on his arm. Like, it's
Yeah.
the audio waveform of him saying that. And it's like, everybody
that.
everybody has their thing.
Yeah.
Like full on, everybody has their character that they're super attached to. And every once in a while, like there's more than one that'll come along, and
Mhm.
there's reasons, there's ways to commemorate that. And it's like, of course Ichigo's going to be probably one of the big ones, because like you don't sit there with a character for 500 episodes and not
Mhm.
get attached. You
That's
just
fair.
don't.
Yeah. This is this arc also, I will say, anybody who's reading One Piece, I would encourage you to, if you want to read and then go back, but please watch this arc because
The
Yes.
I
fights are
mean,
redonkulous.
yeah, they
Like,
do a really good job animating all of these insane like clashes.
Was
And
this?
you have to hear Whitebeard punch air.
Oh, it's
it's
so
like the
sound
sound design is
Oh,
ridiculous.
is this the beginning of the thick neck era?
Yes.
Oh yeah! Oh my
Yeah.
god!
It is.
I have to show Kaden that. I don't know if I've shown her that. It's in spoilers.
Make sure
The
there
thick
aren't
era.
any additional spoilers in there, because
It
there's
should
a character
just
that I can
be-
think of that she hasn't
Well,
met yet.
don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We can talk
So
about
we'll
all
talk
sorts
about that.
of new stuff.
Let's talk about
later.
that off air.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, but yes, Mark, this is the era where like Oda was kind of drawing everybody like a little thick in the neck, and then the anime was
No,
like,
you could kind of notice that it's just like, we're gonna change things a little bit, and everybody got a little bit like thick.
Boy,
it's just like because
Pretty
everybody's so beefy in this arc too, but like we've seen Ace before, like we know what Ace looks like, but Oda kind of made him like real like barrel
Well,
chested
yeah,
in the
because
neck.
they were gonna they're gonna chop off his head. They got to give him a thicker neck so it's harder to cut through, right?
Yeah, you know what? You got me there. But it's like I feel like it looks fine, right? Like it's bigger, but it looks like you kind of like, yeah, whatever in the manga. But then when you see it in the anime, you're like, whoa. When I said you could copy my homework, but change it a little bit, maybe in the
I didn't
opposite
expect.
direction.
I didn't think you made thick.
It's like really like wide neck, like wide neck.
Okay,
One
we
Piece
got to talk about it off.
right now.
All right. Do we want to land this plane?
Yeah, okay. Let me just close this browser tab. So Kaden, are there any predictions you want to talk about, or you want to wait until you watch a little more?
There's specifically something I want to talk about, but again, it happens next time. There's something that they really do want to talk about next time. Until then, though, again, between this episode and next episode, I'll be watching a bit more One Piece, and hopefully I'll be getting some extra additional like little things, because I'm finally having things are slowing down a smidge, and I get to take a little bit of it, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Predictions return next episode.
Hooray!
Next episode, everyone.
Away. Okay. Well, in the meantime, then maybe we should tell everybody where they can chat with us and see us on social medias. Kaden, where can the people where can they find you?
Where can they find me? Well, you
Where?
can find me on Twitter at Caden Jensen, KDINJENZEN. You can also find me on Tumblr. That's again KDINJENZEN. Instagram, same thing. More importantly, I am all in on Twitch streaming right now, and you can find me on Twitch. Guess where you can find me? It's Caden Jensen, KDINJENZEN. I'm a VTuber, so you can check me out there, and of course, you can check me out on the Rooster Teeth website, and that's just Caden over there.
Oh. Laughborg, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at Al McClellan Jr., ALMCCLELLANDJR. Good luck. And that's it.
B for Bonesman, what do you got?
That's right. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at Mark Botanica. I am half in on Twitch.
Yay!
And it's sort of the thing where I've been getting like, I've been working such longer shifts that whenever I get off early, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stream something. So do me a favor and follow me over there at twitch.tv/Mark Botanica, because even I don't know when I'm gonna be live next.
I have a schedule now. I finally did it.
Oh, it's so
after
rough.
years.
Two different Twitch streamers. One has a schedule. One, I don't know.
I'll never tell.
I'll never tell.
Listen. I am a full-on anime girl. on Twitch with the anime eyes and the wolf ears and all sorts of stuff.
Oh.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And I'm on Twitter as well at TEHFLOD to Flood. I'm also on Tumblr, Molly Flood, Molly K Flood, depending on what you're looking for. And we have a we have a Yayo Talk Show Tumblr in case you want to see some One Piece memes or GIFs or fan art, what have you. We've got it. We got it all. We got it all there. Going along with how most arcs and sagas, have ended, now that you've listened to the episode, you've joined our crew. With that comes the responsibility of telling your friends, leaving a comment, following us on Twitter and Twitch at Yayo Talk Show, and letting Caden watch the show in one piece. So come aboard.
No, go ahead.
Great. I'm not like I'm terrible at this.
So come aboard.
No, you're so good.
So come aboard, and we'll see you next time on Yayo Talk Show.
Talking about One Piece.